Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
And the winner is your _pal _blue 69 high.
look at the calendar. Fuck, why are you giving me all these other things? Yeah, I just clicked on the date and time. What the fuck? I'm getting surgery on Friday next week, so I probably won't be here Friday night, but I might be. I'll probably be back Sunday, but I definitely won't be back Friday. And I'll let you know how I'm feeling Thursday night. But next week's gonna be a little wonky because of that. I'm okay. Everything's fine. It's just like a little routine thing that has to get done. So where I'm at. Hope it goes well for you. Thank you. Me too. To say I have been crying a little bit is an understatement. Even it's a totally routine thing. It's totally normal, but I'm over here in panic mode, like I'm gonna become a vegetable and die. And like, it could happen, but it might not. And so like, I shouldn't be putting that energy out. But at the same time, I'm like, would you love me if I was a worm? Sorry. But anyway, everything should be fine. Everything should go well. I'll keep you guys in the loop. Other than that, it's mostly been just kind of quiet. I did finally get level rank 70 or rank 59 in Fallout 76 this season because I was like, I gotta get the sheriff's deputy badge for the Sunset Sarsaparilla. It wasn't a badge, it was a player icon. I didn't know it was a player icon until today when I got it. I'm so bummed. My hair is like so 70s right now. I should have kept my clothes on. My other clothes on. I could have just done 70. 70s roller skating girl. Final girl from.
Christ, there's a boomer around here.
You always know how to make me feel so good. So, yeah, it's basically, it's been a kind of chill day. I got through a bunch of stuff. Tomorrow it's supposed to be chill. That's my off day. It's supposed to rain. Wanted to get like the patio and stuff done, but I just didn't need help with it. Like finishing leveling it out. Sorry, you're fine. I'm in like a frustrated place because one of my social media accounts got reported for like age verification, and I'm like, my brother in Christ, there's no way I look under 18. Are you kidding me? So I'm just like, I'm frustrated. I'm like, what is going on? So I don't know. It's very frustrating. And like, I didn't find out until I went to log in, and they're like, you need to verify your age. And I'm like, what? You look late 20s to early 30s. That's what everybody says. And I'm just like, why do I need age verification? Do you think I'm not, like, am I saying I'm 56? Like, what is happening? So, and then I got that at 5:50. Okay? So, literally 10 minutes before I was going live while I was setting everything up, I was just like, are you kidding me? Kidding me right now? This is what I'm dealing with? Why? Is it because I post too much socialist stuff? Is that why? They think I'm Gen Z. I'm too socialist. I hope they don't get me for my driver's license having brown hair and me having hot pink hair. That would be annoying. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's because I'm 35 and my hair looks like I'm 50. I'm not even 35 yet. I'm 34. What the hell? You know, if I could bestow anything on you guys, like anything to help you prepare for being old like me, is I would tell you to get good shoes, okay? I thought you were 58. That's fair. That's fair. That would make me older than Hobby, and I don't think he would like that. if I could bestow any knowledge on you, forget all the politics, forget all the science, forget all the history, I would tell you to get a good pair of shoes. A good pair of shoes that is going to give you both ankle support and ball support and heel support and arch support, all of it. Just get yourself a really good pair of shoes that will last you a really long time. I'm telling you right now, I would not have half of the problems I have with my body if I had a good pair of shoes my entire life, okay? Or like didn't do dance. You know, doing ballet ruined my joints, which then in turn ruined everything else. I usually buy a nice pair of name brands and then usually those until they disintegrate entirely. Yeah. Name brands is fine. It just depends on like the shoe. Like I'm telling you, you need like something that's going to keep your foot from going like this or like this. Because if I have like a bad day, right? If like my ankles are like really hurting, if I push myself too much, my back, my hips, the space in between my shoulder blades, my ankle, the heel of my foot, all of it hurts. I got 3 good pairs of shoes because someone gave me a pair of Nikes and then I bought an ancient pair of footwear from 1977 BC. Or Charlie? Is that what BC means to you? God, I'm gonna lose. I'm not gonna lose it. I just think it's a little silly that I got age verification. Okay, so 5:50 to 6 o'clock would be 10 minutes. 6 o'clock to 6:10, 20 minutes. So 6:20 is a half hour. Well, I mean, before Christ, but yeah, we can say before Charlie. Well, 1977 BC would actually be a lot older than you're saying. Like, it wouldn't make sense. The only footwear available in 1977 BC or BCE for us based viewers would be sandals. Really nicely woven sandals. Probably loafers. They would probably be better for you than half the shit we put out today in America. Let me tell you. It was a play on saying the pair of Nikes I got was from 1977 being old. No, yeah, but you should have said, like, you shouldn't have said BE to a history major, my dude. What were you doing? My autism is gonna... Oh, wait, I shouldn't say that. They're gonna lock me up in a camp. I took too much Tylenol and now I'm autistic. You can't say that to an autistic person who actually is for a living, okay? I heard somebody say at a party the other day that Pabst Blue Ribbon was stronger than the alcohol. Or no. Pabst Blue Ribbon was nothing on the alcohol that we had like when this country first founded, and I was like, incorrect. Because that's what everybody loves at a party, right? You're having a casual conversation with somebody, and another random person with tattoos, a septum ring, and pink hair walks up and is like, well, actually, when America was founded, we primarily consumed apple cider, which would have an alcohol potency of like 0.4%, 0.04%. It was mostly drank as water. Actually, I rarely drink alcohol ever. I am December 1st, I'm 2 years sober from alcohol. Apple cider rocks. Apple cider does rock. Okay. That was probably the hardest part about not drinking is apple cider. Because you can't really find apple cider for like that you get at the store is too sweet. It turns my stomach. Like I feel like I'm going to vomit after like half a glass just because of how sickly sweet it is. But like alcoholic cider, that shit was great, man. Especially if you got like a good like an apple cider kind of like not like a I don't want to say like a saison, but like something close to that wasn't super hoppy. Fireside Chats, I think, was my favorite one. A lot of my family are hillbillies and we get homemade stuff. Ooh. Nothing wrong with hillbilly. I mean, half of the reason New Jersey is the way it is because we're able to, ship moonshine halfway around the United States. A lot of I already read that. Sorry, it jumped up because of the stream elements. My bad. Was this out? And what's frustrating too is that the Supreme Court's out here and is like, previous rulings are not gospel. It's like, my brother in Christ, come on. But we do have some good news. Some good news is that there's a flotilla. I think I touched on this a few weeks ago. There's another flotilla heading out to Israel to break the siege, to deliver baby formula and medicine and food and water to the Palestinians currently being genocided in Gaza. So there's a huge, massive flotillas. It's, I think, 44 ships plus, 44 ships or more have set sail from various countries like Spain, Italy, Ireland, Greece, and a couple of others. And they started entering towards, they're in international waters, but they started entering closer to the international waters around Israel. They have been threatened. They have been, they've had Israeli drones flying around their ships. They have been called Hamas. These Hamas warriors with baby formula. I guess Similac is Hamas now, right? Similac's anti-Semitic. Is that how this is working? So, anyway, all these ships were going. They're getting absolutely annoyed, and all their baby formula is a biological weapon. Yeah, there we go. Biological weapon by Hamas. They have been getting relentlessly attacked, and potentially they were going to either be bombed or boarded. There have been explosions reported. And so in response to the cries for help from the flotilla, which Greta Thunberg is on, and another famous person, I believe it's the Onion Knight from Game of Thrones. I forget his name. But they are on a bunch of these ships, and now Italy and Spain have sent warships to protect the flotilla. And now Turkey has sent drones, and Greece has sent their navy. So it's pretty fantastic. It's pretty fucking fantastic. I'm not even gonna lie. I love seeing it, and it only makes like my situation at the doctor's appointment yesterday even funnier. I want to see if I can find flotilla news, but let's see. The UN walked out on Netanyahu giving a dumbass speech. And I'm not saying that because of his particular religion. I'm saying that because he's from Philly. Okay? Fuck him. The dude leading the modern day live stream genocide is from Philly. Okay? I just need you all to understand that. Let's see if I can find, hold on. News? Are we going to talk about the flotilla? Talking about. Oh my god. Okay, there's so much to talk about. Nut on Yahoo. ICE officers have been seen pushing people in the streets and throwing them, and now apparently there has been so much outcry by regular normies that ICE officers are being relieved of duty because of their hostility towards people. So they are getting captured on film, and in states like California that now has passed laws that say you can't cover your face if you're a public servant. Because of things like that, the public outcry is getting so large now towards ICE that ICE agents are actually like being let go, being put on leave, all these other things. So please keep the pressure on, keep talking about it. I don't give a fuck that like JD Vance is like, if you call ICE the Gestapo, that's blood libel, and you're calling for terrorism. Yeah, they said the same shit in 2004, okay? I already heard this same song and dance about Muslims, okay? Brown people. Anybody that kind of looked remotely Middle Eastern in 2005 was getting called every slur in the book and said they need to be arrested and thrown in jail, even if they were like, I love America. I'm here owning my little stand and helping my community. Oh, now I'm in Guantanamo Bay. The only ice that is good is the kind you put in your drinks. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's hard to feel bad for people who enable and allow such hostility to unarmed civilians. Okay? There's regular old ladies, moms, Kat Abubuzela, who is running for office in Chicago. She got thrown to the ground. There have been people who've been run over by cars. But let's talk about the ICE agents, right? Because they're scared. I will never feel sympathy for people who harm innocents. Yeah, exactly. I can't. I cannot feel bad for someone who didn't even get hurt. As far as I'm aware, no ICE agents have currently been hurt, but people have died being chased down by ICE. People have died in ICE custody. But we don't want to talk about those. We just want to talk about backing the blue, right? Back the blue. Gotta back our military. Bro, I'm so over it. I'm so over it. I have heard this before, okay? You're not gonna get me this time, okay? I believed the Bush administration. I was a fucking lied to piece of shit. And now I'm like, clarity, moral clarity. Yep, this is fucking wrong. Maybe we shouldn't be beating up innocent people looking for work to provide for their families in the middle of the street. Okay? And like, I called it weeks ago. No, months ago. Last time I went to my gynecologist and I sat in the parking lot, I called it and I was like, hey, we're going to see people attack ICE with guns, specifically in states like Texas, because of their gun laws. And Texas would rather give up ICE than its guns. Hands down. If I hear a single Texan that's like, no, I'll give up my gun so that these people can go to a Home Depot and beat the shit out of somebody who's just there to do some day labor. Yeah, that's cool. That's totally fine. I'll give up my gun for that. Bullshit. Ain't nobody saying that. Nobody, okay? So, like, I'm not surprised because this was foreseeable. And then, of course, I'm sure the powers that be in the government were like, oh yeah, we totally foresee this too. Let's use these moments to increase our fascist regime and say like, hey, if you say these things, that's illegal. If you say ICE is bad, you need to go to jail. You're increasing terrorism towards ICE. Like, come on. Like, who the fuck do you think we are? Like, we're not all that stupid. And the only reason they're ramping up this rhetoric is because they know they don't have the numbers. They don't. I've run through it so many times on the Discord, on TikTok. There are 333 million Americans in the United States. 74 million of those 333 million voted for Trump. I don't even know what Kamala got. I just know that she lost, but we're not going to factor in her votes, right? 74 million Americans out of 333 million Americans. Now, I got to pull it up from the Discord because that's the only way I'm going to be able to get these numbers. Did I post it in politics? Probably. Betty spaghetti. I really gotta play that video for you guys. It was like 4 minutes long, so I was like, politic. I know it was like a longer post I made. No, it was after. Oh, here we go. Okay. So Punk had posted something in Discord. I said, how many current standing National Guard are there in the United States total? How many ICE agents? I know there's one cop for every 33 people in the United States. There is absolutely no way that it is possible. They will attempt it. I think it was like trying to take over and start a genocide here. They will attempt it and they will move forward with it, but by no means am I dismissing it, but they don't have the numbers. I said this on August 26th, okay? A month ago today, I typed this in the Discord. 7,656 U.S. citizens for every one National Guard member, but I'm pretty sure my math is wrong. Currently active is about 43,040, but I rounded to 43,100, 20,000 active ICE agents at the time of this post. There are 330 million Americans. Sure, 74 million Americans voted for Trump's, but even if we take that full amount out rather than the current Republican polling numbers, that leaves 256 million Americans. I feel like that's more people need to hear that the odds or check my math, because while yes, this is going to happen, it is a possible way to beat it. So I want to update those numbers. So first, what I'm going to do, all right, how many cap locks on? How many current ICE eight months ago? Even ICE's numbers are saying 20, or even the website's numbers are saying 20,000. Okay, so I'm gonna open up my calculator. Where is my calculator? There you go. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna factor in ICE agents into. So some people who are ICE agents most likely voted for Trump. I think that's fair to say, right? If they didn't, I stand corrected. But if calculator. All right, so there's 330 million Americans. How many people? I'm 75 million. Oh. 77 million people voted for Trump. So if we subtract 74.56 from 333 million, we get 256 million Americans, okay? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So that's a lot more Americans. Like, that's a lot. And I'm sorry, but like, how many active National Guard members are there? Between 430,000 and 450,000 according to AI, which I never trust. 256 over 330 is 77%, 0.57% of the country not voting for him. No, I understand that. I'm trying to figure out how many people he can use to get on his side versus how many we have on not being stuck in fascism. Okay, Antifa versus fascism. Okay, not the calculator. Okay, so 330 million. Right? Comma, yep. Minus 450,000. Wait, 45,000, right? It wasn't 450,000? Oh, it was 450,000. Great, there we go. Equals oh, then everyone who isn't a leftist assume is fascist. I am not going to assume that. I'm going to assume most people who love their grandparents that fought in World War II are Antifa, right? I'm going to assume most of our history teachers who teach World War II are Antifa. All right, those are normal people who I wouldn't even consider leftists. I wouldn't consider my high school teacher a leftist until they step into the game. We have to allow them the chance to step into the game, and we have to teach them. We have to build the community. And we're not going to do that by just calling them a fascist to their face if they're completely uninformed and are also scared because they don't realize the numbers are on our side. The numbers are on our side because if we take... Let's clear this. Okay, ICE agents was 20,000, right? 1, 2, 3, plus sign plus, or 50, because you know you can't be in the National Guard and ICE at the same time. How many cops are there currently? How many cops are there? Yes. Okay, we're gonna say 900,000. We'll take the largest number AI gave us because fuck AI. If it's gonna do me wrong, it's gonna do me wrong. 900,000. So, so 1,370,000. Right? Remember that number, because I won't. Okay. 130 million. 6 minus. Ugh. Oh. Okay, well, at least it's right there. 137. Oh, well, you look at that. If you add up the amount of National Guard, the amount of ICE agents, and the amount of cops in this country, it is still not enough. And let's just assume none of those people are, let's assume every one of those people are not Trump voters, right? So now we're going to take this number and subtract the amount of people that voted for Trump. We still have over 2.5 million, 250 million Americans who will not stand for this shit if they heard it, if they saw it, if they knew about it. We have to talk to each other. We have to communicate. We have to build coalitions. We have to go out and help build community gardens or go to your library. Like, talk to people. Because I guarantee you they all feel the same way we do. There's no way in hell I'm gonna let... How many people? There is no way in hell I'm gonna let 137,000 people tell me what the fuck to do with my life. That's not right. It's like 4%. 4% of the population wants to tell me what the fuck to do. We can do better, and we can work harder, and we need to remind people that Antifa, anti-fascist, is just World War II soldiers. It's Lieutenant Winters. It's Bill Garnier. You gonna sit there and call Bill Garnier Antifa and lock him up in a terrorist camp? The fuck is wrong with you? I don't understand how Trump can sit there and have the 101st Airborne Division along with the HBO Showtime the HBO Band of Brothers theme song parade through his fucking birthday and not understand that those people were against fascism. They were Antifa. Ah! Don't get me wrong. There were plenty of Americans who were like, Hitler might be an okay guy. Henry Ford, one of them, got a medal for being #1 American Nazi. He's all about show. Yes, he's all about squeaky sneakers. I was in the library the other day and it was raining and I started squeaking on the floor and I looked at Hobby and I was like, ha, I'm Trump's birthday. I shouldn't walk on a tile floor with shoes and not think about your military parade. I'm sorry, but do better. Where's your WD-40? Can the American government not pay for that? Are we sending so many bombs to Israel that we can't afford WD-40 for our fucking tanks? What is going on in this country, man? What a shit show. We can't take care of our vets. We can't take care of our veterans' parents. We can't take care of moms and dads. We can't take care of kids. We can't feed kids. We can't provide health insurance. We can send bombs to Israel. We can pay for Netanyahu to stay at one of the most expensive hotels in New York City and shut down a 4-block radius in New York City so he can have a good night's sleep. But we can't get WD-40 for our tanks. I'm sorry. What an embarrassment. Man, I did not need to go off on that tangent. I'm so sorry. I just got so distracted. Man, fuck not nut on Yahoo. Careful, they're gonna call you anti-Semitic and Hamas. The Democrats are gonna cave to the government shutdown because Trump's like, man, we're gonna fire people. Okay. South Park just told him off in their own way. Good. Wait, who? Which one? All right. I need the most. Are we only going to get stuff from a day ago? David Pakman might have some good stuff. David Pakman can go fuck himself. His Friday shows are fun. No, sorry. I don't fuck with David Pakman. He doesn't recognize the genocide in Gaza. In fact, he goes out of his way to not talk about it. He takes dark money from Act Blue, and then when called out on it, he goes, no, you're the bad guy. No, I'm not taking secret PAC money. You're actually taking secret PAC money. No, I don't fuck with David Pakman. Wait, what, Blue? David Pakman hasn't covered a single moment of this genocide in Gaza. All he's ever done is spit out the same DNC bullshit talking points. Okay? I am so over him. Every time his channel pops up, do not recommend. I don't fuck with him. Anybody that was on that dark money Act Blue list, I don't fuck with. Especially after what the DNC did to me. Okay? I don't know if you guys remember. Some of you weren't here. Blue specifically. Last year, during the election, I had reached out to my local DNC to be like, hey, I'm a content creator. Let me get people in front of the camera and get their messages out there. Let me help. And so they hooked me up with the DNC youth coordinator, an LGBTQ coordinator. And I was like, cool. I talked to them and they were like, oh, well, we don't know what they have to offer us until they decide to show up. And all they seem to want to do is have a party at the bar instead of like actual work. And I was like, well, doing like meetups or like DNC sponsored events at a bar would actually be a good idea and would help engage you in the community more, especially if you went to like more queer themed bars. They didn't want to hear it. They called me condescending and a bitch. I posted the emails everywhere. I screenshotted them. I'm sure they're still in the Discord under politics if you go back a year from now. And they kicked me out of the DNC. They ghosted me. I was supposed to go out to Chicago with a delegate. And then I was like, okay, fine. I'll do the live. I'll just live stream the DNC or whatever. And then I found out there was like a website that you could like host your Zoom calls on, right? So I was like, oh, I'll just host my Twitch stream. Well, I did really good. I had a 95% positive rating across every single one of my live streams with over 600 people, okay? 600 people in this chat watching this stream. 95% of them liked that. Then the DNC reached out to me and said, we want to talk to you about some of the stuff that you've been saying. And I was like, well, I've gotten positive reviews, so no thank you. They deleted my account. They deleted all of my events. They barred me from doing anything more, and no one would respond. And so I reached out to my local DNC, and I reached out to my local DSA, and I've reached out to anybody I could, and they all ghosted me as soon as they looked into the problem. All of them. It was so bad. And then the DNC has the balls, my local DNC, Atlantic County, has the balls to send out a mass email and then doesn't BBC anyone on it. They CC'd everyone. I have every email address for Atlantic County Democrats. All of them. All of them. So you know I send them hate. You absolutely know I sent them so much hate and asked them to check on Cory Booker's fax machine. Yes, I did. Okay? Fuck the DNC. Fuck David Pakman. Fuck Brian Tyler Cohen. Fuck whoever that chick is from Texas, Olivia or whatever her fucking name is. That's like, I've never taken money from anywhere. And then she took money. I can't trust a single one of those motherfuckers. Oh, it makes me so heated. I never took money from anyone. If I had dark money, you would know it. Yeah, well, we found out, didn't we?
In the port city of Cartagena, the Spanish Navy prepares for a mission on land.
Oh, Act Blue. Act Blue is a PAC or like a lobbyist group that funnels money from like a couple people into others. There, hold on, let me find Taylor Loren. Dark. And here's the thing, she works for Wired. Yep, here we go. A dark money group is secretly funding high-profile Democratic influencers. An initiative aimed at boosting Democrats online offers influencers up to $8,000 a month to push the party line. All they have to do is keep it secret and agree to restrictions on their content. They used my name for that? Yes, they did, Blue. I can't read it. Anyway, here's the link. You guys go read it. But it's really well written. It has not been retracted, even though David Pakman has put out a video saying it's been debunked. And in fact, every single person who was named in this article also said it was debunked without debunking anything. And then the one chick who did a TikTok on it was like, look, here's the part where you're all lying. And it literally said the thing that Taylor Lorenz was saying, where it was like, you can't work with these people and we have the right to drop you if you do. Like, you can't work with people that we don't approve of. And it's just like, in a private group chat in June, dozens of Democratic political influencers discussed whether to take advantage of an enticing opportunity. They were being offered $8,000 per month to take part in a secretive program aimed at bolstering Democratic messaging on the internet.
A powerful liberal dark money group is secretly funding some of the biggest Democratic influencers on the internet. And I got a hold of their contracts, payment terms, recordings of their meetings, pitch decks for the program, email and text messages between the creators discussing terms, company communication, and more. My story is out right now on Wired, and it's linked in the description below. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty details of who is secretly funding some of the most prominent Democratic voices on the internet, it's important to understand what's been happening over the past 9 years. In 2016, I was a politics reporter covering the election. I was traveling across the country, attending Trump rallies and talking to voters. And one thing that a lot of them had in common is that they had discovered Donald Trump and his MAGA movement on the internet. They were bombarded by his content on platforms like Facebook and Reddit and fed his messaging through a burgeoning ecosystem of far-right online influencers and
it's 48 minutes and this isn't what I wanted to talk about. I urge you guys to go watch it. If the reporting was incorrect or if something was wrong, Wired would have been issued a retraction, taken the article down, or they could have sued. None of those things happened. So I'm assuming everything in the article is true. Until I stand corrected, that's how I stand.
Like any in recent memory. The patrol vessel Furor is settling sail to join an Italian frigate already in the eastern Mediterranean, both tasked.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
Spain and Italy are sending naval vessels to protect the Gaza-bound global Sumud flotilla after activists said that drones repeatedly attacked their boats near Greece on Wednesday. In a statement, the flotilla organizers said, quote, multiple drones, unidentified objects dropped, communications jammed, and explosions heard from a number of boats. Activists also said the strikes on Wednesday marked the 7th attack on the flotilla. The global Sumud flotilla set sail after Israel blocked 2 earlier attempts by activists to reach Gaza by sea.
Passengers aboard the flotilla, there are many boats, include the Swedish activist Greta Thunberg and Nelson Mandela's grandson, the South African MP Mandla Mandela. We're going now to the flotilla to speak with David Adler, the co-general coordinator of the Progressive International. He has a new piece in The Guardian headlined, "We are sailing to Gaza. Here's why." David, we see your hair blowing. We see you're on the ship. Can you explain what has taken
I thought it was my stream when I saw his hair stop moving.
place for people who haven't followed this flotilla? What is it, and the significance of Italy and Spain sending their naval ships to protect you?
This global Sumud flotilla is the largest humanitarian convoy in history to traverse the Mediterranean Sea from Barcelona to Tunis to Sicily to here in Crete and onward to Gaza, with a mission that's very simple but very urgent, which is to break the siege and to establish a permanent humanitarian corridor at sea to deliver critical aid to the starving people of Palestine. It is not an exaggeration, Amy, to say that this unprecedented mission, whose vessels number greater than the sum of all previous efforts from 2008 forward of Freedom Flotilla and its affiliates to try to reach Gaza, has faced bureaucratic sabotage, has suffered from drone attacks in the port of Tunis when we were on the boats and we were attacked with incendiary devices. But most terrifyingly, just here at sea before we entered near to Crete was 2 nights ago, when for several hours there were bombardments. I mean, you have to imagine under the cover of darkness. We can't see these drones. We can hear them, but there's no lights on them. And all we can hear are the sounds of explosions. All we have is CCTV footage of the bombs being dropped onto the boats with an obvious intent to damage beyond repair these sailboats and therefore to deter the mission from going forward. In many cases, that was successful. Some of the boats were damaged on repair and others were able to repair them. I think there's one little detail that your listeners and your viewers might be interested in, which is as they're deploying this illegal, deeply criminal act of violence against a civilian humanitarian mission like ours, they also jammed our communication channels with what? With ABBA, with Lay Your Love on Me, which of course is a reference, a not so subtle reference, to the Swedish activist aboard Greta Thunberg, as you mentioned in the introduction to the segment, Amy. So it is in the wake of those really terrifying attacks that kept us up all night and put our lives at risk that we put out a message to the world, in particular a message to the governments of the Mediterranean, not just to send a declaration or in recognition of our diplomatic, our humanitarian ambitions, to join us, to send boats that can not just protect our lives, but can ensure the success of our mission, which is an infrastructural one, is to set up a new corridor to reach the people of Gaza when the points on land have been so famously, so infamously blocked from access.
How many boats are there, David?
Right now, we're about 40 boats that have joined together from the 3 fleets, Barcelona, Tunis, or the Maghreb fleet, and the Italian fleet, and we're meeting 6 more boats that are now coming from Greece. We should be between 40 and 50 boats. Again, an unprecedented number of humanitarian vessels that is now setting sail on the final leg to reach the shores of Gaza.
David, you're breaking up a little, so we're going to fix that sound. And while we do, we're going to go to who you just referenced, the Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg. This is Greta speaking when the flotilla stopped in Tunisia.
The messages we have to Palestinians in Gaza are many. First, that I'm absolutely disgusted and appalled to live in a world where our people in power every day are betraying Palestinians, and how there are so many people who can seemingly just accept the extreme injustice and the mass slaughtering of people without doing anything. So for that, I am heartbroken, and this is not about me or my feelings at all, but I'm heartbroken to live in that world. What is happening now, for example, in Gaza City should not come as a surprise, because Israel have been very clear from the beginning that this is their intent. They have genocidal intent, that they want to take over the Gaza Strip, which is such a serious war crime. The world has not listened. Right now, people are more and more waking up, but at what cost? What is happening is, of course, an attack on Palestinians, the Palestinian identity.
Yeah, it's Greta. She is an icon. And did you know her sister is like a drag queen who does like rock shows?
And
what a base family.
The Palestinian nation and all the countless of people whose suffering is being reduced to numbers and UN resolutions. This is also an attack on humanity, on international law, on every sense of humanity we have left. And that is a huge, huge risk. Of course, all right, risk is not the right word. It is a threat to everything we hold dear. What we are claiming to do is to act in line with international law. We are hearing the calls from Palestinians who are urging the people of the world to step up, to end our complicity. And we are doing a very small part of that, the bare minimum, to act, to uphold international law, human rights. Any risk we could be subjected to is, of course, nothing to what Palestinians are risking every day, just trying to survive. For example, the extremely brave Palestinian journalists who we are all in debt for them reporting about what is happening on the ground. They risk their lives every single day to tell the story. And the biggest risk is how we have allowed fascism and racism to escalate to such an extent that history keeps repeating itself.
So that's the climate activist Greta Thunberg. She's one of many activists on board some 40 ships in the Samud flotilla that have hit by drones. Drop Site News is reporting Trump envoy Tom Barrack admits Israel bombed the global Samud flotilla ships in Tunisia earlier this month. That's where Greta was speaking. We're talking to live on the ship David Adler, co-general coordinator of the Progressive International.
So, David Adler, just before we finish, if you could say what exactly are you carrying on the ship to Gaza, and what are you calling for now?
We are carrying these ships. Some of them are humble motor cruisers like the family boat where I'm stationed, the lead vessel of the broader fleet. Some of them are even humbler sailing boats, are packed to the gills with basic and critical humanitarian aid, baby formula, medicine, food, and water. However, we're not naive about the scale.
The water is Hamas.
Scale of the suffering in Gaza and the scale of the humanitarian crisis that requires a much larger.
Look at all these people here in the Mediterranean supporting this. How are you, like, I don't understand how you could be on the side of genocide and see this and think you're winning. I don't. I'm sorry, this is how deep? Like, look, from here to here. People, like, waving Palestinian flags and wearing keffiyehs and cheering people on. Like, I'm sorry, but no,
larger and more ambitious response by the states whose good faith obligations under international law require.
Nuremberg 2.0. Israel committed a genocide boogaloo, okay? So sick of this shit.
For them to respond on the Genocide Convention. So that's why I put so much emphasis on this infrastructural element of
I broke Baldur's Gate 3 trying to enable all the mods I have on my one character.
Of our mission. We are not here to drop the aid and go home and pat ourselves on the back.
We have 5 seconds,
We are here
David.
to establish a humanitarian corridor for states themselves to assume their responsibilities and to deliver the aid at the scale that Gaza requires.
David Adler, co-general coordinator of Progressive International, one of the people on board the Samud flotilla headed to break the siege in Gaza. Spanish and Italian naval ships have gone to protect them. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh for
I'm gonna eat dinner. It's been an overstimulating day. I'll be back. Be safe. Enjoy it.
Another edition of Democracy.
Anyway, that's like the general news I wanted to cover today. I do want to get back in 2000s. But I want to remind people that they don't have the numbers. And a lot more of us are angrier than we are scared. A lot more of us want to see change than we are scared. Everybody.
And it's gonna be a fun one because it's all about 2007. Now, are you ready to
Look, it's the United States under George Bush.
learn what happened the year the United Nations designated International Heliophysical Year for reasons you're unlikely to care about?
Absolutely. Delighted. It was a disaster.
On January 4th, Nancy Pelosi kicked off the year in style when she became the first female Speaker of the House of Representatives in the history of the United States.
It's an historic moment for the Congress. It's an historic moment.
Look how young she looks.
For the women of America.
Taking the gavel from outgoing Speaker John Boehner, Pelosi also became the first woman to be second in line to the presidency, behind only the vice president. She would serve 2 terms until 2011, and then become Speaker again in 2018. And on January 7th, NBA history was made when the now legendary Phil Jackson won his...
Part of me feels like we wouldn't be in some of this situation if we were now, if Nancy Pelosi was... if Hakeem Jeffries wasn't where he is today.
His 900th game as a head coach. Jackson's Lakers beat the Mavericks 101-98, making their coach the fastest to ever reach 900 wins, a record previously held by Pat Riley. Then on January 9th, Apple CEO Steve Jobs changed the worlds of communication and computers forever when he introduced the first iPhone at the Macworld keynote in San Francisco.
Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen.
The new device combined the features of a touchscreen mobile phone, an iPod, a camera, and a web browser, making it the first modern smartphone. After all the hype, thousands of customers lined up outside Apple stores across the country when the iPhone went on sale in the United States on June 29th. The first modern smartphone was not exactly cheap. It cost $499 for the 4-gig model and $100 more for the 8-gig model. And
about what it stayed at.
Both required a 2-year contract. It would be discontinued a year later after selling over 6 million units. Tragedy struck on February 8th when model, actress, and pop culture personality Anna Nicole Smith died of an accidental drug overdose in her Hollywood, Florida hotel room. Smith, who was the 1993 Playboy Playmate of the Year, had 11 different drugs in her system at the time.
Bruh, my iPhone SE 3rd generation was like 200 something. I bet it didn't even taste like Apple.
Time of her death, none of which were illegal, but not all of which had been prescribed to her.
A lot of modern cell phones are still in that like $300, $400, $500 range. I know there are some that are close to like 1,000. I'm sorry, I gotta put my lip. Finally hitting that bowl.
We are convinced that this case is an accidental overdose with no other criminal element present.
I'm just so sad. I'm so sad for that baby, and I'm so sad for everybody who loves her. She was a really sweet woman, and I'm sad that she's gone.
And on February 19th, David Karp and Marco Arment launched the first version of the microblogging social network, Tumblr. Karp's first post talked up the site as a new philosophy for blogging.
Tumblr is very much about creative expression and sort of limitless creative expression, the fact that your page can look any way you want.
As of 2024, there are over 74 million monthly users of the Tumblr
I love Tumblr, man. I love Tumblr.
app in just the US. And Al Gore was probably very happy to thank the Academy on February 25th, when his feature, An Inconvenient Truth, won the Academy Award for Best Documentary.
Inspired by his fight for 30 years to tell this truth to all of us. My fellow
The Inconvenient Truth, I believe, is about climate change.
Americans, we need to solve the climate crisis. It's not a political issue, it's a moral issue.
The film, which chronicled Gore's campaign to educate the world about the dangers of global warming, currently stands as the 11th highest-grossing documentary in the history of the U.S. According to Gore, All of its profits were donated to a bipartisan campaign to fight global warming. Of course, all successful movies have to get a sequel, and Al Gore's Academy Award-winning documentary would be no exception. An inconvenient sequel, Truth to Power, written by Al Gore, was first screened at the Sundance Film Festival on January 19, 2017. It wouldn't be as successful as its predecessor, but would gross over $5 million worldwide and receive a nomination for Best Documentary at the 71st British Academy Film Awards. Then on March 3rd, the heavens put on a show of their own when the moon moved into the Earth's shadow, creating a lunar eclipse that turned our planet's only natural satellite a deep brick red. The stunning astronomical event was visible from Europe and Africa, as well as parts of North America, South America, Asia, and Australia. 3 days later, I. Louis Scooter Libby was found guilty of obstruction of justice and 5 counts of perjury. Libby was an aide to President George W. Bush, accused of interfering with an investigation of White House officials who had leaked the identity of CIA agent Valerie Plame Wilson. He was sentenced to 30 months in prison, but that penalty was commuted by Bush 2 months later, and Libby was pardoned by President Trump in 2018. Then on March 29th, Rihanna dropped Umbrella, featuring Jay-Z. The song, which was the first single and opening track from her third studio album, Good Girl Gone Bad, would hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 on June 9th, where it would stay for 7 consecutive weeks.
Oh, he ate it, man.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
And I'm a Mac genius.
A what?
Oh, CPC, every Apple store has a thing called a Genius Bar. It's a place where people like her will answer any questions you have about your Mac.
Oh, a genius. Well, all right, then. What side of the 5th decimal?
3.14159.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I loathe Mac?
11.
Ooh, she's good. Very good.
Meanwhile, down under, 2.2 million people in Sydney, Australia, turned off their lights for a whole hour on March 31st as part of the first ever Earth Hour. Organized by the World Wildlife Fund, the purpose of Earth Hour was to show climate skeptics that the general public was concerned about climate change. It has been repeated every year since.
I have finished my course.
They should do a Bluey episode about that. That's so cool. I'm jealous. Why can't we do something like that? Why can't the entire United States shut off their lights for an hour? And like, it would be really cool if it was like, okay, the Eastern time zone will do it at 8, and then the Western or the Central time zone 8, Mountain time 8, but at 8 their time zone, not 8 our time zone. My iPad is coming tomorrow. Nice. Like I just want like that way it was like kind of like a wave of like the power turning off for like an hour. Like if the East Coast goes dark and then Central time or the East Coast goes dark and then lights up, and as the East Coast is lighting up, Central time goes dark, and then as Central time lights up, Mountain time goes dark, and as Mountain time lights up, Pacific time goes dark. Like, does that make sense? Like, how cool would that be? Why can't we be as cool as other countries? Why we got these lame-ass fascist bullshit going on? God.
I have ceased to enjoy and suffer. Please transfer your love and your benevolence to your living fellow men.
And so it went on April 11th, when acclaimed American novelist Kurt Vonnegut died at age 84 from head trauma sustained during a fall at his Manhattan home. Best known for his novels Slaughterhouse-Five, Cat's Cradle, and Breakfast of Champions, his career spanned over a half a century, and his work is still highly revered today. One of the deadliest mass shootings in American history started at 7:15 a.m. on April 16th, when 23-year-old Virginia Tech student Sung Hoi Cho shot a resident assistant in a campus dormitory. He then headed to a classroom building where, after chaining and locking several of the main exits, he went door to door shooting people with 2 handguns. He would kill 32 and wound another dozen before taking his own life just 10 minutes after a shooting spree began.
Mr. Webley, I trust you have a license for that firearm.
I don't for this one.
Does for this one? He does for this one. What do you mean by this one?
By the power of Grayskull.
Boris Yeltsin, the first president of Russia, died of cardiac arrest on April 23rd. As the man who oversaw the dismantling of the Soviet Union, his funeral was held at the Christ the Savior Cathedral, which was destroyed by Stalin and rebuilt by Yeltsin. Held on April 25th, it was the first funeral for a head of state to be sanctioned by the Russian Orthodox Church since the funeral of Tsar Alexander III in 1894. And while we're talking politics, British Prime Minister Tony Blair.
That would make sense. Because after 1894, then it would be Anastasia's dad, I think, and then Anastasia's dad would get murked by, I think, the Red Army, and then Lenin, or Lenin, and then something else, and then Stalin, and then Stalin dismantled the. Yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes perfect sense. Timeline matches
Announced
up.
his intention to resign as leader of the Labour Party and Prime Minister of the UK on May 10th.
I've been Prime Minister of this country for just over 10 years. I think that's long enough for me, but more especially for the country.
Blair's announcement, which came after 10 years on the job, triggered the 2007 Labour Party leadership election. He would officially resign on June 27th and be succeeded as Prime Minister by his Chancellor, Gordon Brown. And then on May 16th, Nicolas Sarkozy took office as the 6th president of the French Fifth Republic and the 23rd president of France overall. A conservative politician from the Union for a Popular Movement party, Sarkozy's time in office would be greatly shaped by the global financial and economic crisis of 2007. He would ultimately stay in the job until 2012.
I need to know what I stand to win.
No
Everything.
Country for Old Men.
Heads, then.
Well done. Don't put it in your pocket.
Sir?
Don't put it in your pocket. It's your lucky quarter.
Where you want me to put it?
Anywhere not in your pocket. Or it'll get mixed in with the others and become just a coin.
On June 1st, retired pathologist Jack Kevorkian was released from prison. Known in the media as Dr. Death for his determination to assist terminally ill patients who want to commit suicide, Kevorkian had served 8 years of his 10 to 25-year sentence after being convicted for the 1998 murder of Thomas Young.
I will not do it again because it would be counterproductive. What would it serve? What purpose?
An era in television ended on June 10th when 12 million people around the world tuned in to see the series finale of HBO's critically acclaimed mafia drama, The Sopranos. Created by David Chase, the show premiered in January of 1999 and controversially ended with an abrupt cut to black that caused many viewers to think their cable had gone out. Nonetheless, it is still widely considered one of the greatest shows ever on TV.
You live long enough. You either live long enough to see yourself become the hero or turn into a garbage show. Like, Sopranos ended perfectly. The fact that it ended on like a note that no one was surprised about, or that everyone was surprised about, and that, like, you know, it didn't drag on for 9 seasons and become total shit. You know? Like, Sopranos is still, and The Wire are still like 2 shows that everybody reveres today that didn't have many seasons. And sometimes it's for the best. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Everybody's kind of bummed there wasn't a 4th season of that. I don't know a single person who's not bummed about Avatar: The Last Airbender not getting its final well-deserved season. But I think it only became more popular because of that. Also, there's a new Avatar show supposedly coming out, and it's about a bender, and they have a prosthetic leg. And people are like, oh, this means Korra and everybody are dead. And I'm looking at the artwork for it, and I'm like, I think this is pre-Aang, like, artwork. Like, here we go again. ADHD, away! New Avatar, The Airbender. Here we go. Okay, so the upcoming television series, this is the Wikipedia, produced by Avatar Studios, is the Avatar universe is this Legend of Korra, a series which will be helmed by Avatar co-creator Michael. Okay, I'm sorry. Will utilize 2D animation and run for 2 seasons of 13 episodes each, slated to premiere in 2077. And here's the picture of it. Okay, I guess they were right that maybe everybody is dead from post-Korra's time. but I'm like, oh, this looks really good. Hold on. Like, it's really pretty. And, like, I'm interested to see, like, what ends up going on with it. Like, I hope it's good. It's set in a world shattered by the devastating cataclysm, both the physical and the spirit world torn asunder, the remnants of humanity endured. It's Titch 7 hate spread across the world. A young earthbender named Pavi discovers that he's the new avatar after Korra. Oh, so it's like right after Korra. But in this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior. Right, because everything in Korra went to shit. On the run, she has pursued by both human and spirit forces. The new avatar will be joined by her long-lost twin sibling as they uncover their mysterious origins and link to the avatar. I did hear rumblings on Tumblr many years ago about an Avatar show that was going to be about twins. Avatar twins that were from the Earth Kingdom. They have to uncover their mysterious origins and link to the Avatar cycle and find a way to save their world before Seven Havens collapses entirely. It was just announced this year. This year. Gonna be honest, the only Avatar series I liked was Korra. I actually only really liked season. I kind of didn't vibe with a lot of it, and I didn't like in season 2 when they brought Iroh back. Like, that was kind of weird for me. Like, I was fine with him being dead and staying dead. And for me, it kind of just felt like a callback. Like, I don't really feel like he served a purpose. I never liked a lot of Avatar. I feel like you would like it now that you're a little bit older. I would suggest giving it a little chance. Especially because it has to do with overthrowing a fascist dictatorship. What? Avatar's Antifa? Avatar-fa. Okay, sorry.
14 years after it signed off on HBO, David Chase returned to the Sopranos universe in the theatrical prequel film The Many Saints of Newark. The film depicted a young Tony Soprano, played by James Gandolfini's son Michael, learning the ropes of organized crime from his idol and uncle, Dickie Moltisanti.
Welcome to the main attraction, Sonic and the Secret Rings, rated everyone.
We are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet Cybertron. But you can call us Autobots for short.
Autobots.
What's cracking, little bitches? My first lieutenant. Designation Jazz. This looks like a cool place to kick it.
And after 35 years, Bob Barker hosted his last episode of The Price is Right on June 15th.
I want to thank you very, very much for inviting me into your homes for the last 50 years.
The 83-year-old MC taped his first installment way back in 1972, and by the time he called it quits, he had done 6,586 of them. He would be replaced by comedian Drew Carey, who took over the following October.
And
Bruh, I used to like Transformers when I was little, but only a Transformer cartoon on Cartoon Network. Fun.
please remember, help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.
A cheeky marketing campaign went terribly wrong on the morning of June 29th, when the Boston Police Department and Fire Department were called in to check on multiple mysterious blinking placards hung around the city. What were presumed to be explosives turned out to be a publicity stunt for the upcoming Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie. The placards, which had LED lights designed to look like one of the Moon Knight characters from the show, caused a citywide scare, resulting in delays in traffic and subway service.
In a post-9/11 world, who puts cartoon characters attached to batteries on bridges around Boston? Some sort of moron?
I didn't feel scared at
at all. I wasn't intimidated. I knew it was a Moonanite. It looked like a cartoon character.
In the end, Cartoon Network's parent company, Turner Broadcasting System, paid $2 million in compensation, and the artists responsible for the stunt, Sean Stevens and Peter Burdovsky, agreed to perform community service and give a public apology.
Any other hair questions are definitely welcome. Hair today, gone tomorrow.
At 6 a.m. on the 1st of July, new regulations and
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Oh my god. The opening for that show was so good.
England brought a smoking ban into effect nationwide.
Make a place for the smokers and a place for the non-smokers that's segregated off. Not herders out here like bloody prostitutes standing on this corner.
With the ban already in effect in Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales, the passage of the English law made it illegal to smoke in indoor public places anywhere in the UK.
Everybody else's tobacco is poisonous.
Oh, good movie.
Is toasted. Advertising is based on one thing: happiness.
The seventh and final book in the Harry Potter series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, was released worldwide on July 21st. As the last installment in the massively successful series by J.K. Rowling, the book received an initial run of 12 million copies in the U.S. alone. Just 3 years later, the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 premiered in Leicester Square in London. At 607 pages, the story in the book was far too much to fit into a single film, so it was split into 2 parts that were shot back-to-back by director David Yates. Part 2, the final film in the series, would drop July 7th, 2011. When all was said and done, Harry Potter films would gross over $5 billion.
I don't know why I avoided the Harry Potter books for so long. These are great. Just started number 6.
That's a good one. Dumbledore dies in that one. Yeah, I know. I didn't see it coming either.
My name is Rod, and I like to party.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I like to party.
No, Dave, I just said that I party, so maybe do something different for me.
My name is Dave, and I am the stuntman.
You know what? Let's move on.
And on August 4th, in a game at Yankee Stadium, Alex Rodriguez of the Bronx Bombers homered off Kyle Davies of the Kansas City Royals, and history was made.
Number 500 for Alex Rodriguez.
The dinger made the 32-year and 8-day-old Rodriguez the youngest player in MLB history to hit 500 home runs, a record that still stands today. And another baseball record fell just 3 days later on August 7th, when San Francisco Giant Barry Bonds hit his 756th career home run to break Hank Aaron's long-standing MLB record on a full count with 1 out in the 5th inning. Possibly due to Bonds' controversial role in baseball's steroid scandals, neither the commissioner of baseball nor Aaron himself were in attendance. Disaster struck on August 15th when an 8.0 magnitude earthquake struck off the Pacific coast of Peru. The quake, which lasted a full 2 minutes, would kill almost 600 people while injuring nearly 2,300 others. Most seriously affected were the cities of Pisco, Ica, and Chincha Alta in the Ica region, and San Vicente de Cañete in the Lima region. The intense earthquake was felt as far away as Hawaii.
So it's just McLovin?
Yeah.
Badass. It is badass.
Really
It's a
cool.
Badass name.
Yeah.
A lot of people with weird names nowadays.
Chingy, Shakira, Rafe, Pax.
We arrested a man lady who is legally named
I think he was Vietnamese, was with a PH, but it's still pretty shocking to see on a license.
Yeah.
This is a good movie. Oh,
This chicken flamethrower sandwich is amazing.
Yeah. Why do we have to inhale when we talk? Trust me, if you exhale, flames will shoot out of your mouth. What? He said flames.
EQ flamethrower chicken sandwich and the original flamethrower burger. Because one good burn deserves another.
Russia sent the world a scary message on September 11th when it field-tested the amusingly named father of all bombs. Allegedly yielding the equivalent of 44 tons of TNT, it was, at the time, claimed to be the most powerful non-nuclear weapon ever, surpassing even the GBU-43/B Massive Ordnance Air Blast, otherwise known as the mother of all bombs.
The intro kind of has a
MGNT.
Very toddling sound, but it's definitely the hook.
At that point in time, we were two nerdy liberal arts college students. The band was a joke about being rock stars. It was kind of performance art in a way, but not very high concept.
I would say no concept.
No concept.
On October 5th, after years of adamant denials, three-time gold medal winning American sprinter Marion Jones admitted she used performance-enhancing steroids while preparing to compete at the Olympic Games in Sydney in 2000.
Making these false statements was an incredibly stupid thing for me to do. I have no one to blame but myself for what I've done.
In addition to being stripped of all her Olympic medals, Jones would plead guilty to related charges in a U.S. district court and serve 6 months in a federal prison. As if winning an Oscar wasn't enough already, on October 12th, Al Gore, in conjunction with the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for.
Is that why Trump wants the Nobel Peace Prize? Because Al Gore got it?
Their efforts to build up and disseminate greater knowledge about man-made climate change and to lay the foundations for the measures that are needed to counteract such change.
We have the ability to solve this crisis and avoid the worst, though not all, of its consequences if we act boldly, decisively, and quickly.
I am starving.
Don't you have a photo shoot tomorrow? Stop eating.
I think she has a little junk in the trunk. Like got the jiggles.
What are you talking about? She said you have a lot of junk in your trunk.
I meant outside of your car. There's some stuff in your car we need to get out.
Marion Jones and Barry Bonds weren't the only star athletes to have drug-related scandals in 2007, because on November 1st, five-time Grand Slam winner Martina Hingis admitted to testing positive for cocaine during Wimbledon.
Und für diese Art von Tennis gibt es nur ein Hilfsmittel: die Freude am Spiel.
Despite proclaiming her innocence, Hingis immediately retired from the sport rather than have a fight with anti-doping authorities. She would be suspended for 2 years and would start competing again in 2013, retiring for good 4 years later, while ranked at #1 in the world. Prior to a key Supreme Court ruling on the legitimacy of his election, President Pervez Musharraf imposed a state of emergency rule in Pakistan on November 3rd.
Which saddens me the most. After all we have achieved in the past 7 years, I see in front of my eyes Pakistan's upsurge taking a downward trend.
Responding to what he described as a surge in Islamic militancy and judicial activism, Musharraf's order entailed suspending the Constitution and firing the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The order would remain in effect until December 15th. And wouldn't you know it, in 2013, the government of Pakistan charged Musharraf with high treason for implementing emergency rule and suspending the Constitution back in 2007. The special court, which held hearings while Musharraf was in exile in Dubai, found him guilty and sentenced him to death in absentia. The ex-president, however, would die of natural causes in the United Arab Emirates in February of 2023. Launched on October 24th from Xichang Satellite Launch Center, China's first lunar satellite, Chang'e-1, entered lunar orbit on November 5th. It would relay its first picture of the moon's surface just 21 days later. Its mission finally ended on March 1st, 2009, when it crashed on the moon. And the world lost a true showman on November 30th, when legendary motorcycle daredevil Evel Knievel died of pulmonary disease at the age of 69. Famous for stunts like trying to jump Snake River Canyon on a rocket-powered motorcycle, Knievel had been suffering from diabetes and pulmonary fibrosis for years. Then, on November 30th, 5 people at a New Hampshire campaign office for presidential candidate Hillary Clinton were taken hostage by a local man who appeared to have a bomb strapped to his chest. The standoff lasted 5 hours before being resolved peacefully by police. The bomb was fake, and none of the 5 hostages, which included an infant, were hurt.
Very grateful that this difficult day has ended so well.
On December 8th, Florida Gators quarterback Tim Tebow became the first sophomore in the history of the NCAA to win the coveted Heisman Trophy. Tebow's incredible season, which resulted in over 3,200 passing yards, almost 900 rushing yards, 32 touchdown passes, and 23 rushing TDs, was one of the most impressive in the sport's history. And the sports world was rocked again on December 13th, when Major League Baseball released the results of an investigation into steroid use in the sport, conducted by Democratic Senator George Mitchell of Maine.
The evidence we uncovered indicates that this has not been an isolated...
Damn, remember when politicians used to work? Like, he did this investigation. Like, jeez. We're lucky if our fucking, like, elected officials show up to work, let alone vote for anything or write legislation that helps us.
Problem.
At over 400 pages, the bombshell report listed the names of 89 players believed to have used anabolic steroids and human growth hormones, including home run champ Barry Bonds. And crime certainly paid on December 20th, when the painting Portrait of Suzanne Bloch, 1904, by the Spanish artist Pablo Picasso, was stolen from the Sao Paulo Museum of Art. Thieves used a hydraulic jack to let themselves in, and were out with their stolen goods within 3 minutes. No alarms were raised, since the cash-strapped museum didn't even have one.
Oh yeah, the new South Park episode is pretty funny. Can you send me the link?
The painting, worth over $50 million, was recovered in January of 2008. Finally, on December 27th, former Pakistan Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto was assassinated by a suicide bomber in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. Bhutto was at the time the leader of the opposition party Pakistan People's Party and was campaigning for an election in January of 2008. 23 others were killed in the explosion, which was tentatively linked to the terrorist group Al-Qaeda. And that's how 2007 ended, with Al Gore polishing his Oscar.
Is it this one? Oh. Words. Episode 5. I'm not even trying to type. This one? Yeah. I don't want to watch anybody else watch it. Oh, it's only a minute?
I'm gonna leave, I'll see if I...
Damn. So many spoilers. We should do a watch parties on Discord for the new episodes. I got Paramount Plus. Deal. Deal. Like, I'll let you know when the new episodes come out, and then we can plan from there. Or, I mean, you could just say, hey, South Park's on. I'm going to be in the Discord, and then I'll probably get right in there. Just do it spontaneously. I'll show up. Okie dokie. Wait, is that their YouTube page? No, it's Paramount. I'll probably watch episode 5 tomorrow. But I want to watch it now. You can't sit there and tell me, oh my god, I've just heard nothing but good shit. Everyone is like, everyone, if you are, cash it. I can screen share the episode. Is that possible? Like, are you sure? Are you sure it'll get picked up by Discord? Because I tried to like stream on Discord the Fallout series premiere, and it wouldn't let me. I should be able to test it. Why is this the only 4 things on the news? ICE officer relieved of duty after shoving incident. Why is YouTube allowed to ban? Why is YouTube allowing banned creators to return? The people who spread conspiracy theories and got banned from YouTube got their monetization back faster than I will ever be able to, all because I posted a thumbnail with Luigi's face in it. Trump acts as if the DOJ is its own personal law firm. Yeah, duh. Where have you been? Ugly new chapter. Oh my god. Sometimes I have to like look at these channels and like, I just gotta plug in my headset. I'm just saying, just test it. Don't worry about jumping in now. Test it. Okay, we got 6 this time instead of 4. And YouTube is garbage. Like, just straight garbage. Because, like, I always screen share movies and shows with my buddy. Okay. After I change the setting on Opera GX.
Oscar and Nobel Peace Prize, and everyone else using their new iPhones to figure out which roided-up ball player was the biggest disappointment. It was so distracting, a lot of people didn't even notice that on February 10th, a junior United States Senator from Illinois had announced he was running for president. But that's for next year. Coming soon, 2008. 2008. A year of record-breaking musical moments, fascinating feats of science, and a whole lot of high-profile crime.
I liked it personally. That. I loved it.
Plus, we saw historical presidential election, the Beijing Olympics, and tons of game-changing pop culture.
I'm gonna screen share in
Kingdom of the
Discord
Crystal
real quick.
Skull.
Try.
So,
You're good. I don't think I have it
Today, we're going to talk about the news, culture, sports, entertainment, and all that was weird in 2008. This is Timeline. You better hold on tight, Spider Monkey. This is 2008. Now, get ready to be so 2008.
What you gonna do about Ghostbusters?
What is that?
That's the Ghostbusters theme song.
On the very first day of the year, New Hampshire made headlines for legalizing same-sex unions. The bill had actually been signed back in May 2007 by Governor John Lynch, but didn't go into effect until the new year. This made New Hampshire the first state to accept same-sex unions without a court order or legal threat.
You know the business, and I know the chemistry. I'm thinking maybe you and I could partner up. Either that, or I turn you in.
An omen of an impending recession, the global stock market suffered a serious crash, resulting in another Black Monday on January 21st.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 43%.
European stocks saw their worst one-day results since 9/11, and Asian stocks plummeted as much as 15%.
No, I know I really worked.
Okay, yeah, I
worked
see
really
it.
hard.
Okay.
It's easy for people to just say, oh, it's luck, you know? And maybe it is.
One day later, the world lost a big screen icon. Heath Ledger, who was only 28 years old when he passed from an accidental drug overdose, had starred in movies like 1999's 10 Things I Hate About You, 2001's A Knight's Tale, and 2005's Brokeback Mountain. But audiences would come to know him best for a movie that was about to be released posthumously.
Heath Ledger has left us an original and enduring legacy.
It's Grammy's 50th birthday, and everybody's coming to the party.
The 50th Grammy Awards took place on February 10th. Amy Winehouse cleaned up, winning 5 awards, including Song of the Year for Rehab, to which the Grammys did not say no, no, no. And jazz pianist Herbie Hancock won Album of the Year with his tribute to Joni Mitchell called River, the Joni Letters.
What a beautiful day this is in Los Angeles.
1 week later, Kosovo formally announced its independence from Serbia after 3 years of talks initiated by the UN. With Russia's backing, Serbia called the move illegal, and many Serbs living in Kosovo vehemently opposed it. But that didn't stop the fledgling nation from seceding on February 17th. After a heated battle against Sony's Blu-ray disc, Toshiba recalled its HD DVDs and put an end to the technological format war for good. Thanks to companies like Walmart and Netflix picking up Blu-rays, as well as PlayStation consoles using the tech, Sony found themselves with a significant edge in the market. And so Toshiba had...
The porn industry also had a big hand in that as well. Apparently, there was kind of like a competition between HD DVDs and Blu-rays, and more porn was purchased on Blu-ray.
Had no choice but to call it quits. Good thing everyone still uses physical media, right? After 49 years in power, Fidel Castro announced his retirement as the president of Cuba after surgery for intestinal bleeding left him in a state of deteriorated.
Chat, I think we're gonna try to watch. Do you want to try to do it now, Blue, or do you want to do it another night? Because I know this is kind of like random. I kind of don't want to get in trouble for streaming it. So we'll do it outside the Discord another time. But I'm glad it works.
Health. The National Assembly of People's Power voted unanimously for Castro's brother, Raul, to take his place, which he happily did until 2018. Fidel himself remained an active member of Cuban politics until his 2016 death at the age of 91. His ashes were entombed in the Santa Ifigenia Cemetery in Santiago de Cuba after 9 days of public mourning. The online video platform Hulu launched for public access on March 12th.
We've created Hulu. Hulu beams TV directly to your portable computing devices anytime, anywhere, for free.
After 4.5 months of beta testing, the site was finally ready for wide release, with TV shows like The Simpsons and Miami Vice available alongside NBA and NHL games.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not my position to burden you people with the ugly details of this Elliot Spitzer nonsense. But it just seems like the more we find out about this, the uglier and nastier it becomes.
How much worse could it get?
Well, here, I'm going to show you.
Due to immense pressure from his colleagues and the general public, New York Governor Elliot Spitzer stepped down from office after a scandal involving him and an escort agency was unearthed.
I've begun to atone for my private failings with my wife, Soda, my children, and my entire family.
David Patterson replaced Spitzer, making him both New York's first black and blind governor.
Oh, I didn't know that. favorite movies and TV shows, we'll have to watch Fallout together. If you have that.
Satisfy your hunger fast with new Chef Boyardee mac and cheese. It's made with real cheese sauce and made to tame the beast.
After 6 years of marriage, Paul McCartney, you know, the bassist from the Beatles, divorced his then-wife, Heather Mills. The couple had a daughter together, and though McCartney paid almost $50 million in the settlement, Mills was not happy. After the judge disagreed with the claim,
I have the entire season of the show downloaded on my phone on the app.
that
Nice.
McCartney restricted Mills' career, she poured a jug of water on McCartney's solicitor in the middle of the courtroom. Unsurprisingly, that did not help her case. The small Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan became a democracy after a century under a monarchy on March 24th. 79% of the 320,000 registered voters showed up to the polls and abolished the absolute monarchy after the nation's king pushed for change. The Bhutan Peace and Prosperity Party took the majority of the 47 parliamentary seats, with the People's Democratic Party winning the remaining few. Later that month, Aloha Airlines said aloha to its 61 years of business when it announced it would be permanently ending passenger services.
This is a celebration of a fabulous, fabulous ohana. One last time, you guys, here we go.
The airline, which serviced Hawaii, as you probably guessed, could not compete with larger companies and was struggling to make ends meet due to the rising price of jet.
Massive, large companies always putting mom and pop companies out of business. Always.
Fuel.
Thanks for making your choice. Aloha Airlines, mahalo, and welcome on board.
Speaking of Blue Hawaii,
Hi. Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey's song, Touch My Body, soared to the #1 spot on Billboard's Hot 100 and made music industry history. With its success, the pop singer had accumulated 18 chart-topping hits, beating out Elvis Presley for the world record. In other words, Mariah Carey is much more than a hound dog. One day later, more music history was made when Beyonce and Jay-Z got married. The ceremony was held in secret, but the details of their relationship were anything but. And since their wedding, the marriage has been rife with cheating scandals and acclaimed albums about those cheating scandals. But they celebrated their 16th anniversary in 2024. When you're crazy in love, you're crazy in love. On April 5th, Academy Award-winning actor Charlton Heston passed away in the company of his wife, Lydia. The
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorites. It's Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas meets there. I'll link the original. It's by, like I said, once again, One Board Jew comes up 100 times a stream because I love it.
84-year-old left behind a son and daughter, as well as an impressive filmography.
Yes. Gordon Street.
Starring in movies like 1959's Ben-Hur, 1968's Planet of the Apes, and 1973's Soylent Green. The fourth installment in the Grand Theft Auto series became an immediate sensation. The video game, which was critically acclaimed despite its controversially violent content, was not only the highest-grossing video game release of all time, but the highest-grossing entertainment product ever released. It would only be dethroned by its own successor when Grand Theft Auto 5 made
I hear everybody loves 4. Everybody. I liked Vice City a lot.
$6 billion in revenue, outselling not just every video game ever made, but also movie giants like Gone with the Wind, Star Wars, and Avatar. GTA really made a killing, and a stealing, and every other crime you can do in the game. April
4
of
is
2000.
better than 5 in my personal opinion.
Date ended in a grimly interesting way,
Anastasia.
thanks to a pair of previously discovered remains near Yekaterinburg in Russia. Using DNA testing, forensic scientists were able to deduce that the remains were of Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna and her brother Alexei Nikolaevich. Anastasia was long rumored to have escaped. Over the years, several women had claimed to be the long-lost Grand Duchess, with the legend ultimately inspiring an animated film and a stage musical. This discovery put the rumors to bed for good. but at least we got some catchy tunes.
Honestly, expect us to believe that that was a bodyguard in a suit.
It is one thing to question the official story and another thing entirely to make wild accusations or insinuate that I'm a superhero. The truth is, I am Iron Man.
Seth MacFarlane, known for creating animated shows like Family Guy and American Dad, made the deal of the century, literally.
Yes, we won the lottery!
On May 4th, he...
An ambulance just went by on the road I live on. Are there a lot... do you live on a dead-end street?
Signed a deal with 20th Century Fox to become TV's highest-paid writer in history. For $100 million, Fox was able to keep MacFarlane and his TV shows on their network for another 4 years.
What's exciting about Seth MacFarlane making, what is it, like $100 million, is that now I have a goal, I have a focus on who I'm going to sleep with.
I don't know what to do with that much money. I'll put it in the bank. That's the responsible
Nah, it's a street that branches off to a main road. Oh, okay.
thing to do.
Ew! Ew! Onision! Ew! Shane Dawson 2.0. Like, literally, like, ugh! Gross!
I burned.
We both enjoyed that. Now I want you to introduce my greatest creation, the new Toasty Torpedo.
The new Toasty Torpedo?
Yes, Scott. You make one.
Me?
Put it in me, Scott. It's over a foot of Quiznos flavor on Slim Sleek ciabatta for only $4. Say it, Scott.
Only $4?
Say it sexy.
Only $4?
Sexier.
Only $4.
11 days later, same-sex marriage was legalized in the state, making it the second U.S. state after Massachusetts in 2004 to solidify the equal rights of gay
Commercial is so intimate. I've never felt more flushed.
couples.
The fact that some people would like to undo our I do makes me very sad.
The news came after an attempted ban on same-sex marriage was struck down by the court in San Francisco.
Is that what the food industry was like back then? Yeah. Have you never seen a Jack in the Box commercial or what? I'm sure if Dorothy was here, he'd tell me the other ones. Carl's Hardy. Yeah, all it was sex and food all the time.
Marion Ravenwood is your
What's Jack in the Box? It's a burger company.
mother.
Oh, for God's sake, Indy.
No, I mean, I never thought that you...
I would have a life after you left.
That's not what I meant.
A damn good life.
Well, so have I.
Yeah? You still leaving a trail of human wreckage?
You looking for a date?
With anybody but you.
Apparently, following Bhutan's example, Nepal ended its 240-year-old monarchy and became a federal democratic republic on May 28. In the subsequent election, the Maoists, or the Unified Communist Party of Nepal, became the majority party. A tragic fire struck the Universal Studio Hollywood theme park and studio backlot on the 1st of June after a worker used a blowtorch to heat asphalt shingles.
Fortunately, nothing irreplaceable was lost. We have duplicates, and obviously there's a lot of work to replicate.
The disaster destroyed a horde of master recordings from artists like Billie Holiday and Judy Garland, archived film copies, and several iconic fixtures of the backlot. Additionally, the fake New York street used in countless productions, the Back to the Future clock tower, and a popular King Kong-themed attraction were all lost. 3 weeks later, noted comedian George Carlin passed away at the age of 71 from heart failure.
Yeah, dying shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be that bad. We're all going to do it. It's one of the few fair things in life. Everybody catches it once.
Carlin was well known for his poignant comedy, social commentary, and political satire.
Oh, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking.
His 7 dirty words routine remains one of the most iconoclastic and influential routines to ever grace the stage. From the death of a legend to the end of an era, Bill Gates announced he was stepping down from his position as Microsoft's chairman on June 27th.
And so this will be the first time since I was 17 that I won't have my full-time Microsoft job.
Then President Steve Ballmer replaced the company founder and remained in power until 2014. Gates, for his part, took on a part-time role at Microsoft to spend more time on his charity work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Never doubt the magic of software.
And to cap off the month, the world witnessed a scientific marvel as the first ever pregnant transgender man gave birth to a healthy baby girl. Thomas Beatty, living in Bend, Oregon, chose to become pregnant via donor sperm since his wife, Nancy, was unable to conceive due to a prior hysterectomy. The story became a news sensation, and Beatty would go on to advocate for trans and reproductive rights. In a sibling rivalry for the ages, Venus and Serena Williams faced off on July 5th for the Wimbledon Singles Championship. Defending her title, Venus had a lot to lose to her little sister, but lucky for her, she came out on top, marking her 5th win at Wimbledon. The Belgian-owned InBev was already the world's largest brewing company before acquiring Anheuser-Busch for a cool $52 billion.
I think it's a horrible move on Anheuser-Busch's part.
It disgusts me. It's a happy day in Belgium.
After the merger, the company became a veritable titan of industry with around 300 brands on tap, including Budweiser, Bud Light, and Stella Artois.
Criminals in this town used to believe in things. Honor. Respect. Look at you. What do you believe in, huh? What do you believe in?
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Radovan Karadzic, or the Butcher of Bosnia, was the president of Republika Srpska during the Bosnian War in the mid-90s. After being indicted for war crimes, he fled and lay in hiding for years before finally being arrested on July 21st, 2008. He was extradited to the Netherlands and charged with 11 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity. But that's not where...
It's amazing how, like, when we look back on history, we remember the dictators, but very few times do we remember what happened. And there are so many of these wars and conflicts that I remember learning about, never learning what happened. And I'm like, wow, we do hold people accountable eventually.
His story ends. 8 years later, at 70 years old, Karadzic was finally found guilty of the Srebrenica massacre and sentenced to 40 years in prison.
The chamber hereby sentences you, Radovan Karadzic, to a single sentence of 40 years of imprisonment,
which would later be amended to a life sentence.
Arrested for prostitution. I can't believe it. Sophia, we're innocent. I know that. I can't believe these dumb cops would think anyone would pay money to sleep with you.
Estelle Getty, best known for her role as Sophia Petrillo on The Golden Girls, died on July 22, 2008. At 84 years old, Getty suffered from dementia but passed peacefully in her Hollywood home surrounded by family. Thank you for being a friend, Estelle.
All right, we've already figured out how to do this. The beds match up perfectly. And here's the thing, it'll give us so much extra space in our room to do activities. Please say yes.
You don't need permission from us to build bunk beds. You're adults.
Hey, I never asked you. Yeah. You like guacamole?
The following month, the Summer Olympics kicked off in Beijing. 11,000 athletes from 200 national Olympic committees congregated in China's capital city and celebrated the
I remember this because everybody was fucking clowning on the USA team for dressing like the way they did.
26th occurrence of the modern Olympic Games. Afghanistan, Mauritius, Tajikistan, and Togo brought home their first ever medals during the Games, and India, Mongolia, and Panama each took home their first gold. Meanwhile, American swimmer Michael Phelps set the record for most gold medals won in a single instance of the Olympics. Founded by Brian Chesky, Joe Gebbia, and Nathan Blaharczyk, the short-term rental company Airbnb launched in August of 2008, originally taking shape as airbedandbreakfast.com. Whoever came up with the acronym deserves a raise. The company saw its first customers during an industrial design conference, where attendees were having trouble finding nearby accommodations. Since those humble beginnings, Airbnb has grown into a worldwide service, bridging the gaps between millions of hosts and travelers every year. Pop diva Lady Gaga shocked the world when she dropped her first studio album called The Fame on August 19th. Gaga was an immediate sensation thanks to her catchy music and striking appearance, and the album was a huge financial success. At the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards, Gaga's debut album won Best Electronic/Dance Album, and her smash single, Poker Face, won Best Dance Recording. Guess they could read her, yes, they could read her Poker Face.
Both of them are exactly at 120 volt AC.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com. How can I help you?
Well, I haven't shopped for car insurance in a while.
And you're worried that you've been paying too much, right?
Yeah.
I want to show you this burger commercial. Was it Carl's Jr., Paris Hilton Car Wash? Yeah, here we go. I don't even know if I'm allowed to show this, to be honest.
I love Paris.
This is a burger commercial. Burger commercial.
I love Paris in the
Burger commercial.
I love Paris
Burger commercial.
I love Paris in the
Cheeseburger.
I love Paris every moment.
That played on TV. Oh my god. That was on like every channel. They weren't the only one though. Hold on. Carl's Jr. They had some like
How can you tell if you're looking at a real Texan? Some say it's the boots. Others say the hat. But the real way is the buns.
Introducing the authentic Texas Toast Bacon Cheese Thick Burger.
this is most American. Yeah, they look good. They didn't need to sell me the sex. I was fine with. Look at that, it has chips.
With a split hot dog and kettle cooked potato chips, it's the...
That's 2015. We don't care about that. We want 2000, early 2000s sex.
We can compare your progressive direct rate with other top companies. Seriously? Yeah. Look at the deal we just got him.
That's a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, or a big tricked out name tag.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's progressive.
In the last days of August 2008, Senator Barack Obama became the first African American to be nominated by a major political party for President of the United States.
Lincoln said to a nation far more divided than ours, "We are not enemies, but friends. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection."
His battle for the presidency was just beginning, but we'll check in on that in a bit.
In Alexander Dumas' book, what was the name of the third musketeer? Watch it.
Slumdog Millionaire was such a good movie.
I guess you know the answer.
Do you believe it? I don't.
Why don't you shake your hand? Thank you, sir. Here. How many bombs have you disarmed?
873.
873. 873. What's the best way to go about disarming one of these things?
The way you don't die, sir.
That's a good one.
After 5,123 performances, 4 Tony Awards, 7 Drama Desk Awards, and the Pulitzer Prize for Drama, Rent finally closed at the Nederlander Theater in New York. The show, created by the late Jonathan Larson, ran for 12 years, but was especially relevant in 2008 during the housing crisis. Speaking of which, the world was hit with the worst economic freefall since the Great Depression during the global financial crisis, which reached a devastating turning point on September 15th, when the international financial services firm Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy on over $600 billion of assets. Beginning in 2007, a combination of the U.S. residential real estate bubble, high-risk practices by private and public institutions around the globe, and widespread dealings with financial derivatives based on risky subprime mortgages that targeted low-income borrowers led to a worldwide financial collapse, sending countless banks and financial institutions into bankruptcy almost instantly, and bursting the housing bubble in the U.S. At the time, Lehman Brothers was the 4th largest investment bank in America. Their historic bankruptcy filing triggered the biggest drop in the stock market since the terrorist attacks in 2001. 7 years later, the crisis would be dramatized in the 2015 film The Big Short. Based on the 2010 book by Michael Lewis, the film features an ensemble cast using a blend of comedy and true-life research to explain the complicated economic causes behind the collapse.
So whenever you hear subprime, think
SpaceX's fourth Falcon 1 rocket became the world's first privately developed space launch vehicle to successfully make orbit on September 28. The 70-foot-tall rocket was carrying a 364-pound mass of aluminum meant to simulate a satellite, which they successfully delivered to space after 3 failed attempts to do so. O.J. Simpson was acquitted for the slayings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman back in 1995. But he wouldn't escape the naked gun of the law entirely. On October 3, 2008, Simpson was found guilty of robbery and kidnapping after an incident in Las Vegas.
Count 1, conspiracy to commit a crime, guilty. Count 2, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, guilty.
The former NFL legend conspired with an accomplice to intimidate and rob a dealer selling memorabilia from Simpson's time with the Buffalo Bills. Simpson was sentenced to a maximum of 33 years in prison, with an opportunity.
Didn't it turn out that he actually did do it? I have no idea. All I know is that's weird. Why would you try to rob somebody for your merch? Like, could you imagine, like, Mr. Beast trying to rob somebody for, like, his merch from when he, like, first came out?
Opportunity for parole in 2017, which was indeed granted on October 1st of that year. The very next day, tech executive Sheryl Sandberg became Facebook's second highest-ranking employee under founder Mark Zuckerberg after she was brought on as the company's COO. The former vice president of global online sales and operations at Google is often credited for making Facebook
Because I could have sworn the news said somebody found a confession letter or something after his death. He's dead?
profitable, and she maintained her position as COO for 14 years before finally stepping down in 2022. Spotify made its first playlist on the 7th of October. Founded by Daniel Ek and Martin Lorentzen in Stockholm, Sweden, the music streaming platform began its life as an invite-only service and was free to use with ads and limited
That's how
features.
Facebook started.
Paid users enjoyed the full feature list.
Yeah, he died of prostate cancer. Oh shit. Yeah, I had no idea. I don't know. I have no idea if he actually was admitted to any crimes or anything like that.
As well as ad-free listening, though it was only available in European countries at the time. Today, Spotify is available worldwide and was the 47th most visited website in the world in December of 2023. After $8 billion in several years, the Large Hadron Collider was officially inaugurated in Geneva, Switzerland on October 21st, though it wouldn't be fully operational until the following year. The LHC lives up to its name. As the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator, the LHC was built so physicists could study theories on particles and the subatomic realm. Listen, we've seen the subatomic realm, and it wasn't great. Prolific novelist and author of Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton passed away on November 4th at the age of 66 after a battle with lymphoma. In addition to bringing dinosaurs back from extinction, Crichton co-created the long-running medical drama ER, and many of his other novels were adapted into films. Wesley Snipes is in one of them.
We're playing that most American of games.
Which is what?
Catch-up.
That same day, Barack Obama defeated Republican candidate Senator John McCain to become President of the United States.
That out of many we are one. That while we breathe, we hope. And those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people.
He's such a good speaker. Can you, like, compare it to what we hear nowadays or, like, what we just heard at the UN? Like, he's like, yeah, we got hope and shit. And Trump's like, that escalator's broken and I'm going to investigate all of you. What's going on?
Yes, we can.
Garnering 365 electoral votes and nearly 53% of the popular vote, Obama served 2 terms from 2009 to 2017. Not one to be outdone by her musical colleagues, Taylor Swift released her second studio album, Fearless, and officially launched herself into stardom. Fearless debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and spent 11 non-consecutive weeks there, making it the longest run of the 2000s. Fearless would go on to win.
Obama did bad stuff too. Obama, I believe, created ICE, or I believe Obama created ICE. Tom Homan, the current head of ICE, was the head of ICE when Obama was president. Obama did drone strikes on civilians. Obama did some pretty bad shit that we didn't know about. This country has always been rotting because it serves the interest of the corporate shareholders. We are nothing but numbers on a spreadsheet to them. And the sooner we realize that, and the sooner we desire our freedom, the sooner we will reach a better state. We need to break our chains, and the only thing we have to lose, like, at this point, what else did we have to lose as a country? Like, what else do we have to lose? Because we are losing everything. Well, everything I was born into, everything my parents were born into, everything my great-grandparents were definitely born into. But then again, I also have the privilege of having a family of white people who have been settled in this country for a very long time. So, like, they had it a lot easier than African Americans in the 60s when my grandparents were in their 20s. Or, yeah, 20s. No, teens, because my grandfather was in Vietnam. And, like, it's just so rich people can keep their status and get richer and richer and gloat over who has this thing or that thing, or they've got that thing, so I need to one-up them. That's all it is. We are but pennies in their pockets. And I'm sick of it.
Billboard's Album of the Year and an American Music Award in 2009.
To the fans, thank you so much.
As well as the Grammy for the Album of the Year in 2010. What a love story.
Your scent is like a drug to me. You're like my own personal brand of heroin. I still don't know if I can control myself.
I know you can.
Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich was arrested on corruption charges after a 5-year investigation of his administration.
It was a phone call from me to the governor advising him that we had a warrant for his arrest.
Blagojevich and his chief of staff, John Harris, were accused of conspiring to commit mail and wire fraud, in addition to influence peddling in a deal involving the Chicago Tribune. The governor was found guilty and sentenced to 14
Wow, people going to jail for crimes?
years in federal prison.
That's not America.
Somehow, his helmet hair avoided charges. To cap off the year...
I'm sorry, government officials, I should say.
Billionaire financier Bernard Bernie Madoff was...
Poor people go to jail all the time. Yeah, that's... People of color end up going to jail all the time. A government official?
arrested on December 11th.
A sex trafficker? A convicted sex trafficker will serve less time in jail. A convicted Jeffrey Epstein. Well, Jeffrey Epstein, was he convicted? Or was he still, like, going through, like, the trial phases? And then, Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted sex trafficker, child sex trafficker, Ghislaine Maxwell. They don't get to serve time. No.
The scheme was estimated to have generated around $65 billion over multiple decades. And in a twist worthy of a fictionalized crime drama, it wouldn't have become known at all if it weren't for Madoff. So 2000 and late, we suffered through a recession, saw many world firsts, and witnessed the court system at work. But in the end, we brought home the gold. Now get ready to have a bunch of songs stuck in your head because next year is full of pop music icons. Or if TV shows are more your style, get ready to hum the Parks and Rec theme and sing along with a cast of Glee. But that is all for next year.
I'm in your head, bro. Now get ready.
Last year, guys. Last year of the early 2000s. Can you believe it? We watched 9/11 on Sunday. It is Friday, and we are in 2009. I got a couple more videos to show you, though. I got something.
2009.
And when I say this is it, it really means this is it.
2009, the last year of the aughts. We made it, folks.
Now it's time to end.
We saw a historical presidential moment, a media juggernaut buying another media juggernaut, and financial advancements and innovations. We also saw the release of classic shows, movies, and music, while reckoning with the deaths of several icons. So we're going to take you through the news, culture, sports, entertainment, and all that was weird in the 2000s. This is Timeline.
At this point, I was watching Cartoon Network. I graduated high school in 2009. Hobby had just had his daughters for a year. Mostly Cartoon Network.
Watch out for swine flu, because this one is all about 2009. Now, are you ready to learn what happened in the International Year of Astronomy, Natural Fibers, and the Gorilla? This is 2009.
I can feel it down in my lungs.
On January 3rd, 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto kicked off the year by mining the first block for the now controversial cryptocurrency and decentralized payment system known as Bitcoin. 9 days later, Nakamoto would make the first Bitcoin transaction by sending 10 Bitcoins to computer scientist Hal Finney. And no one knows how to explain it to this day.
I have nothing to do with Bitcoin.
On January 12th, Cristiano Ronaldo was awarded his first FIFA World Player of the Year award at a ceremony in Switzerland. Determined by a vote of national team coaches and captains, Ronaldo won by a record margin, prevailing over legendary Lionel Messi by over 250 votes. Things got scary for U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on January 15th.
I remember this.
When a loss of engine power forced Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger to make an emergency landing in New York's Hudson River. In what would become known as the Miracle on the Hudson, Sully successfully brought the plane down, and all 155 people on.
When it first, the day after my birthday, when this news first dropped that a plane was landing in New York, everybody's like, is this another terrorist attack? Immediately.
Were rescued, inspiring Clint Eastwood to make a movie about it.
We've lost thrust on both engines. We are turning back towards LaGuardia.
Hey, you need to return to LaGuardia?
We are unable. We may end up in the Hudson.
American history was made on January 20th, when Illinois Senator Barack Obama was sworn in as the 44th President of the United States, becoming the first African American to ever hold the office.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God?
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Obama, who was administered his oath by Chief Justice John Roberts at the United States Capitol, would serve in the Oval Office for 8 years. On January 28th, Julian Assange's whistleblowing website, WikiLeaks, released 86 intercepted telephone recordings of politicians and businessmen involved in the 2008 Peru.
Listen, I know Hasanami heads and leftist shit on the newsroom a lot, but I need some of them to understand is that if it wasn't for the newsroom, I wouldn't have known about these. I didn't know what WikiLeaks was until the news. I heard these things, but I didn't put it together. I didn't know that WikiLeaks was all this information. I only got the propaganda from the Republican side. And then, like, what speeches that Sorkin gave in newsroom, and the actor who gave them, who I very much enjoyed, I really spoke to me, who was like on the fence of from being Republican into being like libertarian centrist into being a Democrat. Like, this was before Bernie's time. I didn't know socialism was a thing. So like, don't shit on Sorkin so much. That's all I gotta say.
Peru oil scandal. Among other things, the recordings, which kicked off the scandal dubbed Petrogate, captured the participants agreeing to pay a bribe in exchange for lucrative oil contracts.
Gentlemen, start your engines. May the best woman win.
Never thought we'd see you go out like this, Tammy.
Buenas noches.
Hi, Tammy.
You're going down. I am beautiful.
On February 8th, pop star Rihanna canceled her performance at the Grammy Awards after being assaulted by then-boyfriend Chris Brown. The singer was set to perform with Justin Timberlake, but dropped out after Brown was accused of attacking an unnamed woman in a car. That woman was eventually confirmed to be Rihanna, who had visible injuries from the attack.
I'll say that to any young girl who's going through domestic violence. Don't react off of love. F love.
February 18th was a good day for English fantasy author Terry Pratchett, who received a knighthood from Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham Palace. The 60-year-old author, best known for his long-running Discworld series, was recognized for having sold over 60 million books in his career. March 25th saw the release of Grindr, one of the first dating apps specifically for gay and bisexual men and transgender people. Founded by tech entrepreneur Joel Simkai, Grindr launched with both a free version, which allowed access to 100 profiles,
I like that guy.
guy. Yeah, he looks like the brother from Fresh Prince.
And a premium version
Carlton?
for $2.99 that boasted twice as many profiles and no ads.
You got a lot of messages. Hey!
15 years later, it remains the most popular mobile app of its kind.
And it always explodes around the time of the whenever there's like like some kind of Republican meeting, like the RNC, it like crashes.
The first case of the deadly H1N1 swine flu in the U.S. was reported in San Diego County, California on March 28th. And the second case would be reported in nearby Imperial County just 2 days later. From there, the epidemic would spread to Texas, New York, and then pretty much everywhere. More on that in a minute.
Committees make things happen. Committees are the lifeblood of our democratic system. That's really good. Write that down.
Yep.
From time to time, when I think of an eloquent saying or a phrase, I have Tom write it down. He's collected them from my memoirs.
Here's Leslie's quote from Wednesday.
Parks is such a good show. So good.
Your PlayStation. My grandma won't stop watching Blu-ray movies on my PS3.
Look, for $299, you don't just get a sweet gaming.
Kevin was so good. Kevin was such a good idea for Sony. I loved him as like the commercial face, and seeing anybody else as like the representative for Sony weirded me out.
Machine. It's like you get the best Blu-ray player around built in for free. You know how old people like free stuff.
Yeah, but
You know what she did for fun when she was your age? She pushed a hoop with a stick.
But I want to play
with a stick.
On April 12th, the U.S. Navy rescued Captain Richard Phillips from the ship Maersk, Alabama. Phillips had been taken hostage in a lifeboat by Somali pirates on April 8th.
Oh my God, did Tom Hanks also star as this guy? Tom Hanks keeps taking roles where people get hurt. Like,
Destroyer USS Bainbridge and the frigate USS
I
Halliburton
don't think I've ever seen Tom Hanks in a role that didn't involve something tragic happening.
were dispatched to deal with the crisis and rescued Phillips by dispatching 3 pirates and capturing a 4th.
I want to thank my crew. We did it. I told you it wasn't going to be if, it's going to be when.
A dramatic, true-life event like this is required to have a thrilling film adaptation. The inevitable Captain Phillips movie debuted in theaters on October 11th, 2013.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Why is Tom Hanks in all of these? Legendary record producer Phil Spector was found guilty of the second-degree murder of actress Lana Clarkson on April 13th.
We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Philip Spector, guilty of the crime of second-degree murder.
Spector, famous for his work with Tina Turner, the Righteous Brothers, and the Beatles, would be sentenced to 19 years to life in prison, where he would die
Tom
in
Hanks'
2021.
credibility, yeah.
Well, we are going away for a romantic weekend to the Bahamas. In this day and age, it might be a good idea to take along some protection. What kind of protection?
2 armed Pinkerton guards.
The world lost a golden girl on April 25th when beloved actress Bea Arthur passed away from lung cancer at the age of 86. Arthur famously starred as Dorothy on the long-running sitcom The Golden Girls, as well as the eponymous character on the All in the Family spinoff Maude, and in the Star Wars holiday special. Once vaulted automobile company Chrysler filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on April 30th. One of the big 3 American automakers, the company had little choice after failing to agree with its creditors before a federal government-imposed deadline. From 60 to 0, real quick. Love was in the air on May 1st after same-sex marriage became legal in Sweden. The first same-sex couple to take the plunge were Johan Lundqvist and Alf Karlsson, who were married in a ceremony at Stockholm City Hall.
That's so great.
It was reported that the Romulans were in one ship, one massive ship. And you know of this Klingon attack. How?
Sir, I intercepted and translated the message myself.
We're warping into a trap, sir. The Romulans waiting for us. I promise you that.
At 2:01 p.m. Eastern Time on May 11th, the Space Shuttle Atlantis lifted off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center on a mission to visit the Hubble Space Telescope. The shuttle's crew was to perform 5 spacewalks that would upgrade the telescope with state-of-the-art instruments designed to expand its capabilities and extend its lifespan. All right, gang, Hubble up. On May 17th, the public got its first look at a still-in-development version
I didn't start playing Minecraft until like 2011.
of the sandbox video game
And then I never really touched it much after 2011. I played it a few times here and there, But Hobby, it's like Hobby's favorite game.
Minecraft. Now known as the classic version, it was the first in a series of public tests that would lead to a full release in November of 2011. Minecraft would become the best-selling video game in history, with over 300 million copies sold. Little did we know, Minecraft would captivate the world for 2 decades and counting, leading to the inevitable release of A Minecraft Story on April 14th, 2025.
I only ever downloaded it on mobile from browser. Oh.
But
I played
Tom
it on
Hanks
Xbox.
isn't in this one.
Don't I know it?
2 days later, on May 19th, the Sri Lankan Civil War ended 26 years after it had begun, with the total military defeat of the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. Seeking to avoid government persecution, the Tigers sought to create an independent Tamil state in the northeast portion of the island.
So I could get it for free?
But the Sri Lankan government prevailed. The conflict would ultimately kill 50,000 soldiers from both sides and an estimated 100,000 civilians. May saw the debut of a hit TV show and some revisionist history from Quentin Tarantino.
You might laugh because every time I sign my name, I put a gold star after it, but it's a metaphor. And metaphors are important. My gold stars are a metaphor for me being a star.
If you want to win the war
Yes.
tonight,
Look at that Antifa propaganda. Biggest Antifa propaganda you have ever seen in your life. Inglorious Bastards. The most Antifa. Brad Pitt for playing an Antifa, a member of Antifa, a dangerous radical. Look at it. He's got a knife in his hand. Brad Pitt. Shh. I gotta stop. I gotta stop.
we have to make a deal. I'm sure this mission of yours has a commanding officer. Ooh, that's
Such a good movie.
a bingo.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. You're close, my guy. Oh, Lord. Oh, jeez. Oh, why did you do that?
Mr. Tyson would like to know, why is this tiger in your bathroom?
On June 11th, the World Health Organization deemed the outbreak of the H1N1 influenza strain, commonly referred to as swine flu, to be the first official pandemic in 41 years.
And we will all get through this together.
By the end of the month, over 130 deaths nationwide would be attributed to the virus. Good thing we never had to deal with anything like that again, right? Right?
Date is June 12, 2009. This is the last thing broadcasted in analog TV.
The analog TV era came to an end in the U.S. on June 12th, when the FCC mandated that all television broadcast signals switch from analog NTSC to digital ATSC transmission. Luckily, since the changeover had been long in the works, most U.S. households were already prepared with digital televisions or had made the switch by using a digital converter box.
No more analog! Yeah, no more analog! Done!
1, 2, 3.
Friend!
Oh my God, it's cold!
Now I feel like watching The Hangover.
This is a library, not a lunchroom.
Hey, a book about wrestling? Gushers fruit-flavored snacks.
Very, very sad news. Michael Jackson has died.
On June 25th, Michael Jackson, the king of pop, died of cardiac arrest in his Los Angeles home at the age of 50. One of the most commercially successful performers of all time, Jackson was famous for his work with the Jackson 5 and his solo albums like Thriller. Odds are you've heard one of his songs today. A memorial attended by over 20,000 fans and watched by 30 million people worldwide would follow on July 7th. The long arm of the law finally caught up with financier Bernie Madoff on June 29th, when he was sentenced to 150 years in prison for running the largest Ponzi scheme in history. Madoff apologized to his victims, but the judge nonetheless described him as extraordinarily evil and gave him the maximum possible sentence. Madoff, however, would only serve 12 of those 150 years. The man behind one of the most financially devastating cons of all time would die of hypertension and chronic kidney disease at the age of 82. We're never getting any of that money back, are we? The observation deck in the crown of the Statue of Liberty was closed immediately after the events of September 11, 2001. But while the rest of the statue reopened in 2004, the crown wouldn't reopen until 2009.
After they had to film X-Men, Storm, they had to shut down that whole scene so Storm could do that joke about happens to a toad when lightning strikes. Same thing that happens to everything else.
Appropriately enough, on July 4th. Accessing the crown, however, means climbing a 168-step spiral staircase, which had new handrails installed while it was closed. Couldn't Lady Liberty have an escalator? On July 17th, legendary TV news anchor Walter Cronkite died of cerebral vascular disease in his Manhattan home at the age of 92. The most prominent anchorman of television's golden age, Cronkite sat behind the desk at CBS News from 1962 to 1981 and was long known as the most trusted man in America. Then, on July 22nd, the heavens aligned, creating a total solar eclipse. The period of the eclipse in which the moon completely covered the sun, which astronomers call the totality, lasted an astounding 6 minutes and 39 seconds, making it, as of August 2024, the longest total solar eclipse of the 21st century. Where is Bonnie Tyler when you need her? Baseball fans at Chicago's Cellular Field witnessed history on July 23rd when Mark Burley of the White Sox became just the 18th pitcher to ever throw a perfect game.
I did a no-hitter. I was surprised this committee would not do that.
The win, which also constituted the 263rd no-hitter in the history of the sport, came at the expense of the Tampa Bay Rays. In June of 2009, North Korea sentenced 2 American reporters to 12 years of hard labor for illegal entry and engaging in hostile acts. But on August 4th, former President Bill Clinton met with Kim Jong-il to secure their release. The visit, which came while the U.S. and Korea were at odds over nuclear weapons, was the first such visit by a former president since Jimmy Carter in 1994.
When we walked through the doors, we saw President Bill Clinton. We knew the nightmare of our lives was finally coming to an end.
An era in American politics came to an end on August 25th when Senator Ted Kennedy died of brain cancer at his home in Hyannisport, Massachusetts at the age of 77. The brother of 2 iconic politicians, President John F. Kennedy and Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, Ted Kennedy served in the Senate for 50 years under 10 different presidents. Citing an inability to work with his brother Liam even a day longer, guitarist Noel Gallagher quit the British pop rock band Oasis on August 28th. While the famously contentious brothers were often at each other's throats, neither had ever actually quit before. That wall is looking less wondery every day. On August 31st, the Walt Disney Company announced it had agreed to acquire Marvel Entertainment for $4.24 billion.
The acquisition of Marvel offers a unique opportunity to grow our businesses and to build long-term value.
How many times have they done... Oh, wait. Fantastic Four is Sony, isn't it? Never mind.
For our shareholders.
The move, which came just 5 years after Disney bought the Muppets and 3 years after they bought Pixar, would give Disney ownership of one of the most iconic collections of superheroes in history. Maybe they could make some kind of cinematic universe with all that stuff. Just an idea.
I don't do commercials. It's not my thing. Conan, this is different. It's a ton of money, and it's only going to be seen in Sweden. All the Hollywood guys do this.
That's Bob from Bob's Burgers. Spider-Man with
commercial
Sony.
couldn't hurt.
Vroom, vroom, der party starter. Vroom, vroom, party starter. Hey, Conan. Vroom, vroom, party starter. Party starter.
After a 20-month battle with pancreatic cancer, actor Patrick Swayze passed away on September 14th at the age of 57.
Together we can make the world where cancer no longer means living
Friday
with
is still
fear.
Sony too.
without
They've revamped it like 800
hope.
times.
Or worse.
People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive of 1991, Swayze was famous for his appearances in iconic films like Roadhouse, Dirty Dancing, and Point Break. He died with his wife and brother at his side, and his ashes were scattered on his New Mexico ranch, just like Dalton would have wanted.
Tell me exactly what you did with your life to end up here so I don't make the same mistakes.
So good.
But it's springtime, and I thought I might woo a few chicks. No one to watch while we're kissing.
Hey, hey, hey! What the heck?
Is that Archer? God damn it.
Oh, Archer!
Not, Cyril, not now.
I'm sure you wouldn't use operational funds for personal expenses.
That's it. This is the universe we live in. We live in the Archer universe now. Someone opened a portal to the Toon world, and we are now cursed to live in the same reality Archer takes place in.
After 72 years and over 15,000 episodes, the soap opera Guiding Light finally ended its run on September 18th. The ultra-long running series started as a radio broadcast back in 1937 and made the jump to television in 1952. The big finale ended with its two main characters getting married and driving off together in search of adventure.
Now, who is coconuts enough to divorce you?
But we'll see you around.
Well, we'll have to have you over sometime.
I'd love it.
All right.
Bye.
She's awesome.
No, we are never having her over. Heard she already slept with 2 dads from the school.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible.
Tragedy struck on October 14th when pro wrestling villain turned pop culture icon Captain Lou Albano died of a heart attack at 76.
No, I'm the Captain David. I'm merely the guiding light. I dub myself as the captain. I'm the maker of 14 tag team champions, and that's what the name Captain came from.
In addition to wrestling, Albano was known for his appearance as Cyndi Lauper's father in the iconic Girls Just Want to Have Fun music video and his role as Super Mario on the live-action TV series.
Just like that.
On October 25th, Ivanka Trump, daughter of real estate developer and future U.S. President Donald Trump, married Jared Kushner at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Over 500 guests attended the wedding. Hope people yelled "for" in time. 13 years later, Donald Trump would bury his ex-wife Ivana on the very same golf course after she died from injuries sustained during a fall at her new.
Buried her at the golf course? He didn't even get a funeral plot? He just did it at the golf course?
New York home. The burial sparked rumors that Trump was trying to save money on taxes via a loophole that exempted cemetery companies. But others pointed out that Trump himself had expressed a desire to be buried on that same golf course. Would his grave be on a par 5 or a 3 or... After 6 months of beta testing, Riot Games released the multiplayer online battle arena video game League of Legends as a free-to-play title on October 27th. The original version came with 40 champions, and within 3 short years, League of Legends would become the single most played video game in the world. Take that, Minecraft,
It's still
guys.
pretty large, I think.
On November 4th, the New York Yankees beat the Philadelphia Phillies in Game 6 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium.
To the second baseman, Cano. The Yankees are back on top.
The 7-3 victory would win the Bronx Bombers a record 27th World Championship. Outfielder Hideki Matsui won the World Series MVP award and looked good in pinstripes doing it. The following day, November 5th, U.S. Army Major and psychiatrist Nadal Hassan shot and killed 13 people and wounded 43 others at Fort Hood, Texas. The shooting, which as of August 2024 remains the deadliest mass shooting on an American military base, was motivated by Hassan's radical religious views. He was sentenced to death for his crime and, as of August 2024, remains incarcerated awaiting execution. On November 23rd, 58 people were killed in the town of Ampatuan in the Philippine southern province of Maguindanao del Sur. The victims of what would become known as the Maguindanao Massacre, which included 30 journalists and the wife of a popular politician, were buried in a shallow grave on a hilltop. The slayings were over a local power struggle, and it would be 10 years before the perpetrators were finally tried and sentenced to life in prison. Released on November 23rd, Susan Boyle's debut record, I Dreamed a Dream, would go on to become the year's best-selling album. Boyle rose to fame on the competition show Britain's Got Talent, where she ultimately finished second despite being widely favored to win. Nonetheless, she was quickly signed to Simon Cowell's record label, and that guy's a grump, so you know she's good. On December 10th, President Barack Obama showed up in Oslo
he got
to
the Nobel
accept
Peace Prize
the Nobel
too?
Peace Prize.
Yeah, Trump's just jealous of every president.
The nonviolence practiced by men like Gandhi and King may not have been practical or possible in every circumstance, but the love that they preached, that must always be the North Star that guides us on our journey.
Obama had been nominated 12 days after becoming president in 2008 for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. The decision made Obama the 4th U.S. president to receive the award after Theodore Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, and Jimmy Carter. Carter went to North Korea and won the Peace Prize. That guy's got versatility. A day later, on December 11th, the Finnish puzzle video game
Yeah, Trump is just a jealous bitch, yeah.
Angry Birds was released internationally for iOS. In fact, the year 2009 influenced its character design, as the now iconic enemy pigs were selected because of the swine flu epidemic. Within 5 years, the game would be downloaded over 2 billion times. Mario, Minecraft, and League of Legends guys, maybe y'all can team up.
Listen to me. You're not used to your avatar body. This is dangerous.
This is great.
Hey, Marine!
Grace?
Well, who'd you expect, numbnuts?
Finally, at 10:04 a.m. on December 20th, actress Brittany Murphy died of cardiac arrest brought on by pneumonia at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. The 32-year-old Murphy, famous for her roles in Clueless, King of the Hill, and 8 Mile, was buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, California. And that's how 2009 ended, with a sudden passing of a young star, gamers flinging birds at pigs, and everyone wishing they could run through the forest of Pandora and fly around on one of those dragon things. The world had changed forever, and the next decade wouldn't be any easier. But as for the aughts, well, folks, that's all she wrote. So what?
Wow. Wow. Can you believe everything we've had to learn in like the last like week? It's hard to like keep up with because there's also more. Like there's plenty of things they didn't go over in there. Where are we? Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and
When I was a little lad, if I wanted berries and cream, Mummy made me do the little lad dance. Now Mummy's gone. But I still like to do the little lad dance, and you might too. You just run in place. Nice form. Clap your hands. Elegant. Touch your left heel with your right, and your right heel with your left.
Your _pal _blue 69
Gesture
says
to
this guy.
yourself. Berries and cream. We. When it all goes together, it looks a little something like this.
oh wait.
You look wonderful. Now, sing the berries and cream song. Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Up the octave, go for it. Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Easy peasy. Nice and easy.
I don't know if you guys can see any of that, but
light and breezy.
You're welcome.
Mmm, delicious. And that's it. Oh, that was it.
Here's some internet. Actually, this is like 2008 right here. Balloon Shop. This was like one of the very first YouTube channels I subscribed to when I had my very first.
Gentlemen, check out my drawing.
Hey Thomas, you did that drawing, man. Wow. You have a lot of artistic talent, doesn't he?
You did that drawing, Thomas.
He did that. Dang.
You did that drawing.
I did that drawing.
That's some good stuff.
Find your opinions and tell them to me.
Stop, Tom. Thomas, you did that drawing. Thanks.
Panda! Panda!
Second lesson.
I like that panda! Hey, look at the panda! Cool panda!
Thanks.
I like that panda!
Thank you. Hey Thomas, could we see more of the drawing or?
Isn't she beautiful?
What is that mysterious ticking noise? Not over here, not over there. Kind of catchy. Snipe, snipe, Severus Snape, 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 Severus Snape,
Dumbledore!
Snape, Severus Snape,
Dumbledore!
Snape, Severus Snape,
Dumbledore!
Snape, Severus Snape, 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 Severus Snape, Snape,
Hermione!
Severus Snape, Snape,
Hermione!
Severus Snape,
Dumbledore!
Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Severus Snape, Harry Potter.
The subtitles say "Absolute Madness" with Harry acting as Sirius Black.
Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, that's me. Snape,
Harry,
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 Dumbledore.
Hermione!
Snape, Harry Potter, I'm Harry Potter, I'm Harry Potter, Harry Potter, singing our song all day long at Hogwarts.
I found the source of the ticking. It's a pipe bomb.
Yeah!
Voldemort, Voldemort, ooh, Voldemort.
What else? Here is an episode of The Soup, which is a show that I adored in the early 2000s. From August 15th, 2008.
Up now in The Soup, we join the Britney comeback circus.
She looks like a woman that didn't have a mirror.
Drop by the food court of American Mall.
Get a life.
Have our childhoods ruined by Tori and Dean's music video.
What year was that one? 15 years ago? Hold on, I'll go back to it. 18 years ago.
Up now in The Soup, we join the Britney comeback circus.
She looks like a woman that didn't have a mirror.
Drop by the food court of American Mall.
Get a life.
Have our childhoods ruined by Tori and Dean's music video. And take our vaccinations for New York Goes to Hollywood.
Send it back to hell!
Plus, Tyra's triumphant return of Chat Stew, Sunset Tan, and the kick-ass clip of the week. Now, here's the host who watches it all for you, Joel McHale.
Oh my god, is Hassan just political Joel McHale? He's like Hassan, straight presenting male who looks good in every drip, has a dog that they host a show with.
Thank you, intern, friend, vagrants. Welcome to The Soup. This will be my last soup. They've decided to replace me with a better-looking Chinese girl. And by the way, I'm 13. Hey, good news, Britney is back! Huh? You are, and you look great.
Moses, but I think Trisha Paytas and Moses do it better. Like, I feel like this is just them trying instead of actually having fun with it. I feel like Trisha and Moses have so much fun with it.
Without you, we could plant a seed and watch it grow, but I just couldn't live without you. No, I wouldn't want to be without
Kurt Cobain spent his life in tremendous mental torture and stomach pain that led him to abuse heroin and finally take his own life. And yet that suffering would be dull compared to the anguish he would feel seeing that. Could have hit Courtney a little harder, you guys. In tweener news, tween sensations Nick Jonas and Selena Gomez may have inadvertently confirmed their rumored romance in 2 separate interviews. Who cares? Gomez told Twist magazine that while slow dancing with her crush, the two shared their first kiss. When she told her crush that she didn't kiss on the first date, his response was, "I don't play by the rules." Jonas then told Girls Life magazine, not joking, that a girl told him she doesn't kiss on the first date, to which he replied, "I don't follow the rules." Hey, that's the same line he used on me. I don't believe this. By the way, it's official. The Jonas Brothers are now more popular than the Beatles among girls who have never heard of the Beatles. Before they even appeared on TRL, the mere mention of their name made young girls so happy they were miserable.
Please send me a heartbeat, that's so bad.
All right, I'm convinced. They're eyes. We're gonna head upstairs.
Great. You're such a nice guy, man.
I'm gonna head inside with the crazy fans, of course, and number 10, Kennedy Kane, Missy Elliott.
Who should I make this out to? Dear love, Nick Jonas. All right, let's talk about...
Can I say it?
Hey, it's Eliza Schlesinger, the new last comic standing, everybody. What the hell do you want?
Can I say chicks, man?
I'm sorry, no.
Why can't I say chicks, man? I'm the last comic standing. It's the least you can do for me.
Well, I'm sorry. It's sacred territory. I mean, it's not like you won American Idol.
So no chicks, man?
No.
You, Mikhail.
What? Let's talk about chicks, man.
Chicks, man.
Thanks, David Cook! American Idol winner! Hills star Lauren Conrad told Cosmo Girl, "Can you imagine being 22 and having your parents know everything about you? Literally, my mom can go on the internet and find out where I went last night, who I was with. I mean, there are no secrets." Actually, I was on the internet trying to find out why you're famous, and no one seems to know that. So, score one in the secret column. All right, let's have some chat stew, shall we?
So meaty.
It was a big week for famed British soprano singer Sarah Brightman. First, she sang this year's Olympic theme song at the opening ceremonies, and later she appeared on the Today Show, where she tried to hypnotize me.
Coming up next, we're going to talk to one of the stars of Friday's opening ceremony, the one and only Sarah Brightman. But first, these messages.
Yes, Sarah, I will watch your interview. Yes, sir, I will buy your CDs. Yes, Sarah, I will scalp the intern now. Do it! No, I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm not really hypnotized. I just really want your scalp. It's supposed to run. There you go. Wendy Williams has been filling in admirably while Tyra has been on hiatus or hibernation, so we haven't had to use this title card. But luckily, Tyra slipped us a previously unaired episode this week about a woman who likes eating cigarette ash.
Nice.
I'll let her explain why.
I really can't tell you why I do it. I just know that cigarette ashes are so good. Like, I love the way it melts. The way it melts in my mouth and the crunchy part. I eat it on food too. Like, I sprinkle it on.
You sprinkle it where?
I went over to my friend's house one day and I was eating an ice cream sundae, a strawberry sundae. It tastes really good.
I forgot about daytime talk TV in the 2000s. I'm unfazed. Completely. I'm just like, yeah, okay.
I miss you, Grandpa. Legendary Oscar-winning actor Ernest Borgnine stopped by Fox and Friends, and when the conversation turned to Ernie's secret for keeping his youthful glow, well, I wish it would have stayed a secret.
You're 91 years old. You look fantastic. You look like you're in your late 60s, early 70s. What's the secret?
I don't dare tell you.
No meat. You don't eat meat.
I masturbate a lot.
Okay, I think... thank you, Ernie.
I can't tell you're being sarcastic, but I'll throw it back. Oh God.
No meat. You don't eat meat.
I masturbate a lot.
Okay, I think... thank you, Ernie.
Talking about gooning.
Wow, I wonder what Ernie's wife, Tova, of Tales from Home Shopping fame thinks about that.
Manly.
I masturbate a lot.
Champagne tickling your nose.
I masturbate a lot.
Ernie, where are you when I need you?
I masturbate a lot.
So Ernest Borgnine masturbates a lot, and I've got my grandpa in my teeth. We'll be right back after this dirty mouth moment.
This is what the 2000s were defined by for me too. Like, if it wasn't Fox News, it was this. Like, this was like my escape on a pop culture
What
channel.
dirty mouth should be cleaned up this week? It's Rennie on Big Brother.
Did I say that to you? Don't say that.
Tune in next week when the housemates go deaf. This has been another Dirty Mouth Moment brought to you by Orbit Sangria Fresca. Stay tuned for reality show clip time with New York Goes to Hollywood and America's Got Talent. Plus, a guest star to die for, Sci-Fi's latest masterpiece, and the kick-ass clip of the week.
I'm very anal retentive.
The Soup would like to wish a happy 54th birthday to Al Roker. How was your birthday party, Al?
Mark Traub and I have both been doing lines all day.
Sweet.
Wow. Welcome back. Welcome back. The second season of Dexter comes out on DVD this Tuesday. Here to tell us more about the acclaimed series is one of its stars. You know her as Rita, Julie Benz, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Okay, Dexter is about Rita, a single mother struggling to raise her two children while dealing with the scars left by an alcoholic and abusive ex-husband. Now, she's helped through all of this with her dependable boyfriend, Dexter.
Who's a serial killer?
What? Who's the serial killer?
Well, Dexter. The show's about him being a serial killer. I assume you'd be familiar with that.
Well, I mean, I only read the parts of the script that I'm in.
So then you've never seen these shots?
Mm-mm.
This is what he did to his brother.
Ooh, wait, he has a brother?
Yeah. He did to him.
Yeah, I gotta call my agent.
It's not... documentary. It's reality show clip time. Julie Benz. America's Got Talent has been bummed for 2 weeks by the Olympics, but before David Hasselhoff drifted away into a Goldschlager wonderland, he left this gem from Vegas Week to tide us over.
I don't like being a judge, you know, because you gotta break hearts. And I have to tell you from the bottom of my heart, you will be going through to the next round.
Come here, baby. Come here, give me a hug. You did it, baby. You deserved it. You knocked us out.
I know this is a difficult moment for you, but you're lying on my cheeseburger. Ooh, I get you in the ribs with my knee. On $1 Million Listing, rectal swab Chad is getting ready for an important open house. He knows architecture is important to his clients, so he takes the time to make his hair look like the Metrodome.
I like things to be perfect. It gets to a point where I'm very anal retentive. Can I see the hairspray? Sure. Sprays his hair.
Oh my god, this man is single-handedly killing the ozone layer.
Now I'm ready for my broker's open.
Hey, Chad, I got a little something here for you, buddy.
Keep in mind, this is 2008. This is right before the stock market crash that we just learned about.
That is a much better look for you. On Big Brother...
Oh, political violence! Political violence! He's calling for violence! Comedian calling for violence!
The dumbest house guests in the history of the show faced off against former Big Brother contestants who were actually good at playing the game in a food competition. Of course, they lost. But Michelle got to meet Jace, who's famous for being on season 5. Period.
All right, Michelle, please pick one of the ex-house guests.
I have to pick Jace.
It's like listening to 2 fax machines mate. That's my favorite clip of the year. Thank you, Les Moonves, for keeping that show on the air. New York Goes to Hollywood is Tiffany New York Pollard's 5th series. Pretty good for a girl who in high school was voted most likely to ooze. But now, New York's got something else that's burning, a desire to be an actress, and she only wants to go out for roles for which she is tailor-made. Perhaps playing some kind of streetwise receptacle? Anyway, let's see what she's auditioning for.
Excuse me. Are you in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Your name?
Kelly.
Nice to meet you,
What's your
Kelly.
real name? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Tiffany. I just got my sides. I want to go over them.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The girl that's sitting there already recognizes me from my show. Okay, whatever, cool. But I do know that I have a script to read, and we're up for the same part of Condoleezza Rice.
I see her more of a Dick Cheney, I think. I will shoot you in the face! This week on I Want to Work for Diddy...
The Search for Elle Woods?
No.
The contestants have to navigate their way through a forest. You know, just like Diddy would have them do. When Girthy Kim, a.k.a. Popra, suddenly gets an asthma attack, the others accuse her of faking it. But Popra's not trying to hear that.
Those same people sat right there and betrayed me. They did the same thing to Jesus. They did the same thing to Martin Luther King. They did the same thing to every great leader.
Popra, Jesus had a vision and Martin Luther King had a dream. You have a half-eaten peck of Twinkies sticking out of your pocket. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for Sunset Tan, Monster Arc, and the Kick-Ass Clip of the Week.
Soldier, you stay with me.
Gotta glimpse of the upcoming Lynn Spears book this week, and the title is Through the Storm, a real story of fame and family in a tabloid world. These titles were also considered. Through the Storm, when bad parenting doesn't turn out horrible. Through the Storm, I got a son who turned out okay. Through the Storm, and other ways to make money when your kids cut you off. Through the Storm, keeping your head in the sand until it becomes the state's problem. And finally, what to expect when your teenage daughter is expecting. We'll be right back.
Jamie Lee Spears was pregnant at that time.
Welcome back. This is sad. The very last episode of My Beloved Passions aired this week. It ended with a grand wedding, as most soaps do, but this was not just any old soap ending. It was happy.
So, after all these years, I have learned one thing for sure. Always follow your passion. Because that and that alone will lead you to your happy ending.
You had a witch, a tsunami, and a man having a baby on your show, and you're gonna end it with a wink? No nuclear winter? The original sci-fi picture, Monster Ark, is an incomprehensible mix of scenes ripped off from other movies, among them Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Da Vinci Code, and Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2. It also has an explosive blend of derivative dialogue and screamy acting.
Get Martinez! We got 2 men down in there! Get that sucker! Go after it! If you get it in your sight, send it back to hell! Soldier, you stay with me! Soldier!
No can do.
Don't you die on me!
You've never given up on a cliche in your life! Don't give up on me now! Let's take some E! On this Sunday's all-new Sunset Tan, spoiler alert, Anya has finally chosen between Kale and Nick, but the battle ended peacefully. Not a drop of Dracar Noir was spilled. Alas, Anya has to break the news to the loser.
So, yeah, I just want to talk.
Talk.
Yeah. So Nick's been calling a lot.
Right. That's kind of funny because last time...
I know.
When I asked you if you guys were over, you said yeah. I didn't see that coming today. Got me off guard, for sure. It's kind of a bad way to start a day.
Hey, look on the bright side, Kale. You're not on E anymore. Dump me, Anya, please, dump me. Dump me, Anya. Shoot, she only has a brainstem. And now our clip of the week. Let's face it, teens are into musicals these days. I mean, High School Musical, High School Musical 2, Viva Laughlin, they eat it up. So MTV, eager to suckle from the spirit teats of this dancing cash cow, churned out The American Mall, a made-for-TV musical involving teens, a mall, and a dancing hot dog that should have been wearing some underwear. Is it too late to get a clam costume? Catch me August 29th at the Budweiser Event Center in Loveland, Colorado for Thunder in the Rockies. I will stop promoting this if you buy tickets. See you next week. Watch all 12 reruns. Thanks, bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, blues and girls. I am gonna... Oh my god, we started the stream with blue, and we're ending the stream with blue. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here for the night. I am off tomorrow, and then I will be back Sunday. Wait, tomorrow Saturday? Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, and then I'll be back Sunday and Monday, and we'll go from there. I'll figure it out around the surgery, but I'll keep you guys posted in the Discord, so make sure you check out there. Anyway, I will see you guys later. I hope you have a safe and wonderful night. And bye.